So I was driving over here, and I stopped at the Walmart.
Okay.
The
Ingram?
yeah.
Okay.
Which,
It's borderline.
Borderline.
It's like half and half,
Yeah,
I would say.
So the only reason I stopped there is to like check out the Hot Wheel section real quick.
Right, yeah, pop in.
And I think I told you before, like they're all behind glass now.
At that location.
Yeah, like yeah. So I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about other locations.
It's like Hot Wheels and like Sudafed are like on the same level of threat. Yeah.
So I saw like a couple ones I wanted to buy, like not a bunch. Like,
But they're still in the toy section.
Mm-hmm.
They're just behind glass.
And it's not all the toys. It's just like
just the Hot Wheels.
yeah, it's like the Hot
Just the
Wheels
hot
and like
items.
associated like toy cars.
Okay.
I think because it's like they're like collector's items too. Not just,
sure.
Not even though most of them are just toys for kids.
Yeah. Okay.
There's like a lot of like creepy ass adults that go collect them and stuff.
Yeah.
Other
adults.
I mean like the other guys.
Not me.
Yeah. But so I saw a couple that I want. So like you have to like press the little button.
Call for assistance.
Yeah, to open it. So like I was like, okay, can I get that one? So or they just open it and you grab it. And then I was gonna go pick. She's like, I need to escort you like to the register. I was like, God damn, it's like you're buying like a gun or it's like a knife.
Yeah. That'll be $2.
Yeah.
It felt so weird. She's like, carrying my little Hot Wheels, like getting escorted.
Yeah. Dang.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But you bought them.
I did.
Buy
Yeah.
'em.
Okay.
I mean, at that point, you got
You're committed.
You secured the
follow
package.
through.
Like, actually, no.
Yeah, making them like take it all the way back and lock it back up.
Yeah.
Actually,
yeah.
it's a little too pricey.
So, that'll be like $7.19.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of funny though, like ringing that little buzzer or whatever, but then kind of admitting that you're just there to flip them.
Yeah.
Like, how many of these do you have? Like, I want them all.
Well, the funny thing is, like, you still have to like look through it. Like, if you actually like wanted to find,
and someone has to like wait there.
right? Yeah,
like,
like
watch
you could make it really awkward for them.
You have
if
to like
wanted.
dig through.
Yeah. I mean, you could. I didn't, but like,
Aren't they all on display?
no, I mean they're like on. It's like on a page.
it's on a
so there's
card,
like one, and there's like
There's
10
different
behind
ones.
it.
Yeah, you have to like check to see.
Yeah.
Like, what's the?
I mean, the ones that I bought were just right at the front. That's how I knew that I wanted them.
But you could go
yeah,
deep.
you could be there for like an hour, like trying to like get them to like help. Okay, I know I got that one. Like just wasting
looking up the
their time.
values like on your phone.
Like
while,
someone at Nordstrom.
Maybe if you just send a bunch of guys to do
time.
that, then they would just like give up on the whole putting them behind glass thing.
I don't think it's their decision, to be honest.
Corporate. So yeah, corporate. Yeah.
Corporate's worried about these Hot Wheels.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's my little sign of the times.
What'd you get?
I got a Matchbox Model 3 in white.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
damn. No Cybertruck though.
I have a Cybertruck.
Yeah, you already.
Oh, you already have it.
That's like
old news,
It's
bro.
like a year ago, bro.
Yeah.
It is kind of funny. how-
Cybertruck, damn.
Yeah, it is kind of funny how that thing came out, but it's people have been just fucking talking about it for so long.
Yeah.
That it is awesome that it's out, but it's not like here it is. Whoa.
Yeah,
it's like it looks identical.
Oh, it's there. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think seeing them on the street will be like
I saw
kinda
one.
crazy. Oh, you did?
Yeah, remember? I
that's right,
sent you guys the picture.
Oh,
it was
that
a
was
really,
like-
it was a really bad photo.
And it was really far away. Right?
Yeah.
He has proof. He saw.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it like I was on a freeway, like driving up in like the foothills north of
saw
Sacramento,
it.
and like probably from like 3 miles away, I was like,
The fuck is that?
I was like, that's
box?
a Cybertruck. Yeah, I could like instantly tell, so I accelerated quickly to catch up. To
I wonder who are the people that are like driving all the ones that you see around? Are they like employees?
Oh, yeah.
Tester? Like
You mean before they were sold?
no, I mean just like for the past like few months, there's people like
Yeah, I assume that.
there's been
employees.
like fairly regular sightings of it, like driving around. Like,
employee. I'm sure they're out.
those are just like they're not.
I saw some people speculating that was like marketing.
Like,
Like
like obviously, yeah.
there's some kind of theory that there were only like 3 of them, and they were just because you'd see them in like Manhattan,
Right. Yeah.
You
Just
know?
driving through Times Square.
Yeah, like
yeah.
no, I'm doing like winter testing, in Manhattan or at a car show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a lot of that stuff is you have to test the shit like that thing has so many potential. You remember how when the Model 3 came out, like the bumper's falling out, like
little stuff.
people are just ready to fucking criticize that company, and so I feel like that product especially not
opens
just
up new potential.
yeah, not just any new Tesla.
Well, the
like
crash
that
testing,
fucking like meme of a
Well,
truck.
they're already bashing it. They're like, it can't do off road.
I know, yeah. I'm just saying, if it has any other they
Right.
probably had to do so much extra testing. If
Yeah.
it's like the windshield
The
pops
panel
out,
gaps,
like
yeah.
they people are gonna criticize that.
It's not bulletproof.
so much. I love that thing. Like I think that it's cool that they tried so hard on. It's not just, they could have just made it like a big Model X or something.
Right,
you know, it's just like, look at this
Model
funky
X with
shape.
a bed.
Yeah. To me, it's just kind of that company is very similar to Apple, where it's like as you start to see tech somewhere, it's like, oh, they're all going to get this soon. Like it's just kind of one product
trickles
sort of
down.
Yeah, it's like a garden, like Apple. Like, oh, I can't wait till the Macs have this, so the phone should get this.
Yeah.
Where other companies don't really do that. It's not like, oh, the Bolt. I can't wait for the.
Well, have you seen the update for Tornado?
Yeah, like, and so there's just a lot of like cool tech in that truck. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I would never buy one.
Well, it's funny because people always say like, "Oh, look, cars are so boring."
Yeah,
I don't like it. Every car is just like a generic CUV, and then like Tesla makes like literally like the weirdest fucking car like in the history of cars.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like the most absurd, like unconventional thing. Like, oh, but have you seen the ground clear? Oh my God, look how it struggles on that.
Who cares?
This little dirt hill.
I mean, those people are dumb.
It was drawn by a third grader.
Yeah.
I just love
I do like when like whether it's like a seasoned commentator or just some random person like, look at how weird it looks. Like it's some kind of like profound observation.
Yeah.
It looks like a slab.
I don't know about the looks. They're quite polarizing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking 3 lines.
This looks like something I would draw when I was a kid.
It's the craziest looking car. I just like that they didn't like mail it in.
Yeah,
it's like, it's like, wow, they actually tried hard. Like compare that to the Hummer EV, which is just like already kind of a flop. Like that thing was scorching white hot for like a month.
Yeah.
And then it's like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, the only thing that I have a Tesla, so obviously, that's one thing.
You're a little invested.
But the only thing that I don't really like about them, and not just them, but just like I just don't really like the whole thing when you like announce or debut a vehicle like years before you can buy it.
Right.
Like not just them, but like even that Hummer is sort of like that. It's like, this was sort of neat when you like, and plus like, the economy and stuff changes so fast. It's like you can debut a car in like one circumstance and like, okay, 3 years later, here it is.
Totally different.
Nobody wants your $150,000 like
the city you were living in is smoldering. It's like World War
when you have these like massive like lead times between an announcement.
But this is an exceptional. They announced this totally weird product like months before the world exploded. Right. And then
it was that long ago?
It's 2019.
Was it?
Yeah,
I thought it was not during COVID.
I thought it was during.
I think it was like exactly 4 years ago.
Yeah, pretty much, which I don't know. I mean,
it's not. I
just don't really care. I just don't interact with news that way. I just go, wow, they fucking got it out, and then I think about like how many people worked for how long. There's a production line. It's not like we made 20 of them. It's like they are set up to produce this thing. That's crazy. So I don't know. I like it, but like I said, I would not buy one because it's just such a like. I mean,
it's a big ass car too.
It's pretty big, but it's just so. It's like driving a Lamborghini around or something.
Right now, right now, like I can't think of a more.
No,
like which car would have more people taking pictures of it or like asking you about it? Like
crazy.
There's probably no other vehicle on Earth that you could drive there.
And what's funny too, like they say they have 1 million reservations. I think realistically you're probably going to get like a 30% take rate on that.
Yeah.
Like, when it's like, it's going to be $39,900 and it's $100 refundable deposit, you're going to get an extreme
a lot of people.
Kinda, But even so, even if we say it's 200,000 actual buyers, they're not going to fucking make 200,000 of those trucks for like 3 years or something. Like you will not be able to buy one of these.
Yeah, and all the like haters or whatever, like they're like, well, if you compare this like ground clearance and like to whatever like an F-150, it's like that is not going to matter for such a long like
that does not.
Nobody's matter. Like, well, I was thinking about maybe like a Ram or maybe a Cybertruck. I don't know,
a gas powered Ram. Or
like it's a Cybertruck. Like it's not it's like at this point, it is not like a conventional like entry into the pickup truck segment. Yeah.
But I think they did such a good job just making a statement of like, could this be what a truck is?
Right.
Because realistically, no one, like, I don't want to say no one, but let's just say no one. No one's using the Lightning or the Cybertruck as a truck.
Right.
Like these things are kind of like jokes.
By their
right
nature,
now.
that's kind of what they are.
Yeah, they're just kind of like, what is
Going down to the job site.
like what could we make? I'm sure some people will. Like they're built for it, but the majority of people are like, I got that new Lightning. You know, like,
it's a conversation piece.
Look how fast
it's just kind of my like new thing,
Yeah.
and so it's totally the perfect product to be a little crazy on,
Right. Yeah.
Because no one needs it for it's not like, what fuck, man,
Yeah.
I need a work
Yeah,
truck.
my company needs a
like
fleet
this is
of
devastating.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
ground clearance isn't what you promised. Like no one cares about that, and
Yeah.
so the fact that they went a little crazy. I mean, it looks so close to the prototype, which is fucking bonkers.
They did like everything they could to keep the shape.
Yeah, that is crazy to me. Speaking of the Hummer, though, I was watching Bring a Trailer. The market has just shifted drastically.
You mean just lowering
used cars?
Yeah.
Like the wind has just been taken out of people's sails and. Like is almost overnight.
Right.
I mean, it was like, oh, cars are so hot, cars are so hot, and then it's like, overnight, it's like, I'm not. Maybe it's interest rates, but I think people just shifted where it's like, I'm gonna hold off on just buying something
that you don't need.
dumb.
Yeah.
Well, I think also when the price of things is increasing steadily. There's a panic. Like, well, I bet I gotta
buy it
get
now.
it now.
It's never going to be this cheap.
Yeah,
again.
if I want it, even if I think I want it.
This curve is just going to keep going.
Yeah,
up.
this curve just goes
up
forever.
There's no peak to this.
Yeah, all 90s Japanese cars will be $1 million. But that's the way your mind works.
Right.
Is like, I got to get it.
Yeah.
You know, scarcity. And so you had people panicking, like, this is the end of the gas powered. It's like, it is in like 5 years.
Yeah, if that.
Yeah, if that. And so you have people like front loading the panic.
Yeah.
And so then I think a lot of people got excited, and now people are not doing that anymore.
I think that like even in terms of new cars, I think like the Civic Type R and maybe like whatever Porsche something are probably like the only cars that are still selling for like over sticker.
Yeah, but
like regularly.
Yes, I agree. But a big part of the reason they sell for over sticker is because you can resell them for over sticker. And so as soon as it's like, oh, this is kind of a no-lose situation.
As soon as there's some risk involved.
Yeah, as soon as it's like, no, this is a car that's going to depreciate, you get people immediately pulling way back. And the places that I've seen that hit the most are the Hummer was a big one.
The new one, the electric.
Yeah, people were just like fucking dying to get those.
I got the number one edition, like first launch edition.
And now you have people, you know, it's like $140,000 MSRP, and they're getting bid up to like 110, 120. And so you have these people who bought this enormous fucking thing.
That's like $15,000 just in sales tax.
I mean, that one has been funny to watch. Z06s are kind of doing that too,
C8,
where it was like, the C8, which is, it's an amazing car, but people are paying like $50,000 over. And now they're getting bid up to like MSRP, but not selling, which cracks me up.
I'm going to hold.
This is worth more. No,
I'm going to hold my cards.
Yeah, so I'm going to.
I'm sure by 2028, these are going to be worth a lot more. Yeah.
The even dumber thing than paying over MSRP. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't do it. I don't think it's the worst. I get that it kind of contributes to the problem, but if it is the car you exactly want and it's like, you know, $5,000, it's like, fuck, just pay it.
Right.
I don't think I would, but I kind of get it. But the thing that is even more like just embarrassingly cringy is paying over MSRP for a car with like 300 miles. You know, and it's like some guy got his hands on it.
It's already had an owner. You're not the first owner.
Yeah, like he intended to flip it, but like, well, I'm gonna like have a little fun.
I'm still gonna use it.
I'm still gonna like take all my friends for a fucking ride in it. And then they put it up for sale, and it's like, like 390 miles.
It's like halfway broken in.
Yeah,
like hard.
with markup still. You're paying over MSRP for some asshole to put
joyride in it.
Not good miles. You know, and so it's just kind of funny when people are like, fucking dealers or whatever. It's like, dude, it's just human nature.
Right.
Look at the entire used market. It's a bunch of dudes doing what the dealers would do.
Yeah.
If they get their hands on one at MSRP, most of people are flipping it.
Right.
And then like on one side of their mouth listing it for sale, and on the other side of the mouth talking about how dealers are ruining enthusiast cars. Like, it's just people.
Right.
If you give people the opportunity to make easy money,
most of them,
they're probably going to try to make
I mean,
it.
I didn't do it to make money, but yeah, you definitely consider that one. Like, oh, like if I ever want to get rid of this, like I can like at the very least like get my investment back. Like,
Right.
It's a no-brainer. If you have the money, it removes the part of like, this is kind of like
there
a
could be some
little
risk here.
financially
Yeah.
irresponsible. It's like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Like that part's gone.
It's like, even if I lose my job, I could sell it and like make $500 or whatever. Yeah.
And so you just have like record amounts of cars not selling on these auction sites now, and the amount of cope with the owners and it's so bad. And then the stuff that does sell, no matter what it sells for, I dare you to go on Bring a Trailer if you're listening to this. Go to any recent sale. I don't care what it is. Any recent sale. The last few comments will be like stolen,
smoking deal,
crazy deal.
Where were all the bidders?
Like wow, like drive this like you stole. I don't care what car it is. Just for some reason, everybody thinks anything is a fucking like bargain. Like wow, that is a lot of car for the money. It's like, really? Because I think that's exactly what it's worth.
Yeah,
like. I think the market is actually working.
Basic economics tells me that this is exactly what this is.
These things are worth. And then like when it doesn't sell, people are like, I wouldn't have sold either.
You're going to want to hold on.
Yeah. And it's just so clear that the majority of commenters on Bring a Trailer are owners of that car.
Oh, yeah.
Like it has just shifted from like this quirky, fun website to talk about cars to just sad
like
people
hyping it
who have the car.
It's interactive Barrett Jackson is what it is.
Trying to secure the legacy of the car to pump up the price of their car. Like it's so you scroll through anything and it's just like, these are the perfect combination of raw, like these long, poetic, multi-paragraph.
The year was 1987.
Yeah,
I had just graduated, and
and there's dudes who will post the same kind of poem on every auction, like copy and paste of that car.
My partner and I were driving this car.
It's just like few people. If you've never driven a Supra, like there's something, and it's always like defending against arguments that no one's brought up yet.
Yeah.
Sure, the new one may be faster. It's like
sure, other cars are better in every way.
Technology has moved on, but the ROI on this, you can't put into words. It's just kind of a weird, it's kind of a weird like shift, I think. I don't know. The other thing I was thinking of is like, if you look, Bring a Trailer is interesting because you can go back to like 2016 when stuff was like before.
The before times.
The before times. And I think a big part of the price increase is photography and like car selling like technique has just gotten way better.
It's probably similar to like the real estate market too.
Yeah, it's just like these crazy like HDR and sunset, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like you look at a low mile, like an E46 M3, something that today would sell for like 40 grand.
Yeah.
And in 2016,
like 16 grand.
It's selling for like 22.
Yeah.
And you go look at it and it just looks lamer.
Yeah.
Because it'll be like just kind of
like
a
my
shitty
phone
camera.
in my driveway.
Yeah, just not, you're just like, just like, you just remember when they were kind of not, it was just like old. It's like, these aren't that fast anymore. And it looks like that in the auction. It wasn't
romanticized.
Yeah, the exact same car. You'll go to a recent auction and it's like studio lit, Remember M cars. Like it makes me think a big part of it has just been
it's got to be that
the photography. Like, look how sick.
Right.
Because when you're selling a car, you're really selling, imagine you in this thing. Right.
You're all your buddies are waiting.
Yeah. They pull up and they see this image. Like that is what people are bidding on. It's like, I want to be I want that.
That could be me.
Yeah.
I want that blue.
I want that in my garage.
interior. Whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the pictures really do part of it. So I don't know. That's what I was thinking.
That was well spec'd.
Yeah. Well spec. Brilliant spec. If you had the ability to, it's like, and this is why people buy them, but you just buy a 911 GT3 in some dumb color, like purple.
Yeah.
Like just something that's paint to match.
Right.
Yeah.
And hold it for like 2 years. And then just fucking flip it. People are like, brilliant.
Yeah. I love it.
Oh my God. Let me just commend you on the boxes
just
you
like
checked.
crazy. Yeah, nobody picks boxes like you. Brilliant.
Oh, you got the saddle brown. With
Yeah. Yeah, the plum purple exterior with saddle brown. It's just like you could pick it for the photos, basically.
You could have like AI pick it for
Yeah,
you.
just like, I don't just deal with my. How do you want to spec this? Just ask Chat GPT what will be a good.
Well, there are many colors available for the 911. Personally, I would go with whatever.
Speaking of buying cars, so I sold the M5.
That's right. I think the last time we cast it,
Yeah.
we were like it's on, or should
It's
we go
on
live or
sale.
something? Yeah.
So it sold. It sold for like quite a bit.
Big. We're talking
Yeah.
Sold for 65 grand.
big money.
Coin's
I-
been on vacation for like
What
3
did you ever
months.
figure out what you actually had invested in it?
I think it's like 45.
So yeah, I mean, so I'm like you got out well, but it wasn't like I tripled
Doubled my
or
money.
anything.
If I had put the initial money in like a generic,
just better photographs.
no, in
more flashy.
if I had put the money I paid for it
in like a CD.
in a generic
Yeah.
investment fund, it would be like 90 grand.
Right,
So,
yeah.
so it's like it still did not do better than
Right.
like a basic
generic,
investment.
yeah.
But for a car, it's incredible.
Right.
And I thought I was ready to sell it for like 40, 45. Like I was like, it's
Break
not
even. Yeah.
It's not perfect.
Right.
Well, this is before I had added everything up. I was like, it's not perfect, but like this is kind of a fair price. But yeah, I went for way more. And so that was great. Extra money's nice. But now I'm just fucking sitting, and the vet is for sale.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
I do and don't want to sell
Damn
it.
Vet.
I know.
Should have drove
Like,
mine.
I've become the like typical vet guy because I listed it for sale and it's kind of expensive.
Yeah.
Especially for a C5. It's like at the upper end
Right.
of sort of what they go for. But I'm just like, and it's been for sale for like 2 months, I think, and no one serious has
Yeah.
like bit. And I'm just like, I'm not lowering the price. Like,
Yeah, and I think that
I know what I got.
yeah, it's like I know what I got.
I think that's probably one thing, especially if someone's like quote unquote cutting back,
Yeah.
or like 2 years ago they might have been like I want the primo
Yeah.
like I want one for like 19 grand or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
like I'm fine with one that's like a little beat up or whatever.
Yeah, and vets are just weird in general because as soon as one generation gets expensive, it's like we'll just get the next generation.
Right.
It's kind of a hard overlap where, like, I think the C8 being over MSRP pulled the entire vet market up.
The tail.
Yeah, because they're all these like kind of defined stratified, segments. But I have it listed for 32 grand, and every time I drive it, I'm like, I don't want to get
That's
rid
like
of
what you
this.
have in it, basically, right?
Yeah, I'd lose money at that price.
you even put money into it.
Yeah, I put money into it, but I'm just like, I'd rather keep it
Right,
than
right. Yeah.
like even at 32
Maybe-
grand. I'm
maybe
like,
it's too
how is
cheap.
this thing? Yeah, I'm
Maybe I
literally
should
like,
relist it for the.
I literally when I drive it, I'm like, I don't want to sell this for 32 grand.
That's kind of like when you see an ad on like Marketplace, and it's like
Yeah.
I'm selling this, and it's like I'm lower the price by $500 for this weekend only.
this weekend
And if
only.
no one comes, then I'm going to raise the price back. up.
Yeah.
I literally am like, fuck, should I do 34? And no one has bid at 32.
32.
And I'm like, 32 is too cheap.
Yeah,
for
I'm giving.
this is actually like too good of a deal. Yeah, that car is just really hard to sell, but now I only have one garage spot. Damn. And like the Camry is it's fine.
It's just begging for a garage.
Yeah, but I'm kind of now I'm like, should I just get something that is like combined? Because I'm so busy these days.
Right.
I don't even have time to drive the vet.
Yeah.
And so it's like, should I just combine it all and get like, I've been thinking about like a Golf R.
Yeah.
Something that's like, it's still totally daily driver focused.
Yeah, and you can put some miles on it.
Yeah, and you don't really care, but like there's some fun, so I've been looking at that. But I can't decide if I actually want a new car or if I can just be satisfied by hyping myself up about buying something and doing all the research.
I've done that.
And watching all the videos.
It always leads to me buying a new car.
Yeah.
Does it? Well,
but then it leads to me like wanting to get rid of that one and get something else.
Yeah, I've been for 2 months straight. I've been like, RCF, like just all over the place. And I'll just go down these rabbit holes of like learning about it.
You're always like,
and like finding one for sale.
It's funny because you're always like, is there like some car that like no one's ever talked about that's actually like really good?
Yeah, like what's the angle here? And it has never been a better time for cars.
Yeah.
Like people are scared about the future, but for right now, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Like they're so good and there's so many good used options and all that. And so, but every hole I go down, it'll like by the end of the day, it's like, oh, but what about, should I, and I'm all over the map. It's like, 20 grand, it's 80 grand. But if I spend 80,
then I can get it back.
I was like, should I get, what's something that's underappreciated that I was dabbled, fantasized with like an idiot for about a week is the new NSX. Those things are cheap.
Like a used one, like a few year old one. Yeah.
Those things are, because everyone's like, it's fucking hybrid. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But they seem pretty badass.
How much are they? Like
120, kind of, for something that was like 160, like a few years ago.
Yeah,
low hundreds, which is crazy for that car, and it looks sick.
Yeah.
And like all the other stuff, and I'm like, should I get an NSX? Like I'm literally transitioning between, should I get a $20,000 GS 350? Or should I get a $110,000?
Wherever the wind takes.
Yeah, I'm just all over the place. But I get so much pleasure out of it.
You got to go see like Ratty's Ride says about it.
Yeah, I get so much pleasure out of just watching the videos and like hyping myself up and then doing nothing.
Yeah, I've owned it. Yeah, I know what the experience.
I know the ins and outs.
Yeah, and so I'm just kind of like, should I just keep driving the Camry and fucking hyping myself up?
Living in a fantasy world.
Just living in this fantasy world every
going
night.
to the Matrix every once in a while.
I'm just like dipping into the Matrix.
Metaverse.
Thinking about owning
Imagine
an
if you had like a
NSX.
sweet like racing sim. You can
know,
drive it too. Oh, it's all right. Yeah.
Yeah, I drive it to school. You like merge it with Google Maps. You're like doing your commute.
You just need a PSVR 2, bro, and Gran Turismo.
Yeah,
that's all you need.
That's right.
I'm just slowly inching towards it. So I just can't tell. Because having money is nice too. Just having it.
Right.
Just having it in the bank. Just stacking cash. But I don't know. And then the other thing I think is like, I do it because it's a good time to buy a car. Another really good one is the RCF Track Edition.
That's pretty new, isn't it?
Those, dude, I saw one is on the East Coast, and I came dangerously close to buying it. It was
Did you message him?
No, it was gone before I could.
It's used though, right?
Yeah. It was used. So it was a 2021 with 3,000 miles on it for 75 grand. And that was $106,000 new. And those are the kinds of cars that can appreciate, because when they're new, they're so overpriced.
Right.
And you're like, what? And
they kind of stabilize after.
It had like carbon brakes and like titanium. It's just a bunch of stuff, and they're not that competitive compared to the competition.
Yeah.
And like that transmission sucks.
It's kind of its own thing.
So I was like, fuck, this is like a good deal. And then it went. And then like a week later, I'm like, what the fuck are you thinking? 75 grand on a fucking...
Are they shipping it?
What do you... And I was going to drive it back. 3,000 miles is crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to end up. And then I got in the Camry today to drive down here. Well, I like got in it and it was like kind of rumbling on startup. And I'm like, if this thing starts giving me problems, I'm going to be so pissed.
I would go Tesla, bro.
That I didn't cut it. Yeah, I thought about that because Model 3.
Dude, you can get a Model 3 Perform like a
I was looking
for like 32 grand.
Yeah, they're like 32. It's like they're so fucking cheap, which is great. That's like how that 5 years ago or whatever when we were talking about it, we were like, it's great except the price.
Although I still don't think you could own one of those and be like, oh, I'm completely satisfied with all my like motoring, like all of my motoring fun can be met by this car.
Yeah, that is one thing that if I am going to get an all-in-one, I keep thinking about the Golf R because I really do like those, and more than
a brand new one.
No, like a 2018.
7,
yeah, they're kind of expensive still, which is annoying.
Like low 30s.
Yeah, like mid 30s kind of. And I found one again, East Coast, 9,000 miles.
Damn.
It's like, fuck, it's like brand new. But the other, so that one would be nice. That's kind of a lot of money. But
you can get an S3 like even cheap. You can get an S3 for like
yeah,
high
S3s are just
20s,
kind
I
of
think.
dorky looking.
Really,
Like
I kind of like sedans. I don't know.
yeah,
You don't see as many, but
I know. I like those too. So something like that, and that drivetrain's very reliable.
yeah,
And that's what I want. It's just like, it's mostly nice. It's also fun to drive.
right.
But the emphasis is that it's like nice.
Yeah,
And I want to feel like,
and you can still get like 30 miles to the game.
yeah, and they're still efficient. Whereas something like a new SI, even if you, let's assume you could find one.
Yeah,
It's just not quite nice enough.
No.
Like if I'm going to spend 30 grand
Yeah.
on something, it's like, I want it to have been luxurious when it came out.
at one point. Yeah,
Yeah, at one point.
Yeah.
Not that a Golf is that. They're pretty nice,
Right.
though, and they're like pretty nicely built. But yeah, I've just been all over the place.
damn.
Like it's been rough, and still, I think the Vet needs to go first.
Yeah,
And so it's kind of this weird.
That's the first. That's the first.
Yeah,
Then you'll get desperate enough.
it's. I know.
the trigger on
I
something.
felt like if I ended up buying something, I would have to like fire sale the Vet.
20 grand.
Yeah, like I think it would move almost instantly for like 29.
Yeah.
I think if I dropped it that much, it would go. But I just more needed to decide, do I actually want to sell it?
Right.
Because so fun.
Damn.
It's such a fun car.
I said you should just, like I said before, you should just sell it and buy like a 12 grand C5.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Park it outside,
Is-
drive it every day.
In my mind, when I sold the M5, it's like, well, I'm never going to own another like red 03.
Right,
Like
yeah.
this is too expensive. But if I were to buy another M5, I would just get like a silver,
yeah.
like
Spend 22 grand.
yeah,
or
same with the
something.
C5.
Yeah.
It's like they're never going to be rare.
Yeah.
You can always find a Z06.
Is Davis still like nice as far as like car? Do you still park a good car outside without it getting fucked with?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, 'cause I think like that's a pretty unique thing that like a lot of us don't have.
What do you mean a nice car?
I mean, like, because you drove a Civic for
Yeah.
what 10 years?
you think
or
that's
something?
a nice car? You mean
No,
something
no,
that's
no,
like
no,
theft?
not yeah. Like most people, like you could not drive a Civic and park it outside for 10 years and not have it get stolen.
Yeah, I will say the catalytic converter thing kind of
Kinda hit,
happened,
yeah.
but yeah, car. I don't know. As far as I can tell,
Yeah.
like
I mean, because there's a lot of
relatively
cars
safe.
like you would just I would not
Yeah.
I would not want to own this and park it outside.
Yeah,
Yeah, or just like drive it every day. I'm gonna go park this in a bunch of shopping center
Right,
parking
yeah,
lots.
yeah.
And,
Yeah, and I want to have something that's, if it's actually going to be a daily driver, it has to sort of be crappy enough where I'll always care a little.
right.
But it's like, could I park a Golf R outside? Like,
Yeah.
like it's a
Probably.
Golf.
And there's a lot of
You know?
people that do.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, could I?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, right,
it's
right,
like,
right.
it's like, could I actually be okay with it sitting in like 107-degree direct sunlight
Yeah.
just day after day? Where the Camry is just like, who
Yeah,
cares?
yeah, it's yeah.
Gives a shit, which is glorious.
Uh-huh.
It's like, it's so nice. But yeah, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Undecided yet. And I keep like waking up and being like, oh, I didn't buy anything, and like kind of being relieved. Like,
Do you know what's crazy? I would kind of on the same subject. I just realized that like apart from new cars like the GR and the Model 3, like I haven't bought.
I know
a car.
you've been slowing down.
I haven't bought a car in like over like a year.
it's
Yeah.
the perfect lineup.
Yeah.
I think I realized because I was going to the store and it's across the street from AAA. Like the AAA office, which is
Yeah.
where I always go like for the
To go to
they
register
used to,
your
like, put a
car.
car in my
Yeah,
name.
yeah.
It's like, man, I haven't been in that place
I
in
know.
like a year.
They have like a parking spot for you.
They're wondering if you're
You're like,
okay.
oh, that's the guy that always pays $500 for all of his cars.
Yeah, that's old. It's old auction. He bids only 500. Every car he's ever bought.
Yeah.
$500.
Yeah, that's-
Well, I think you just have a good lineup. You've got like the fun V8,
Right.
the kind of the hot hatch,
Yeah.
and then the fast EV.
Yeah.
Like where do you
and,
go?
the, and,
510.
and the smog exempt, like classic car.
Yeah.
It's like you kind of have everything scratched.
Yeah. I
basically.
mean, I wouldn't mind having like a 4x4, but like, not,
Yeah, that's the
not-
only
I-
thing is like
but,
a
like
truck.
something
or
I could like
something.
park outside, but yeah,
yeah.
I don't have the money for that.
The fifth one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You kind of do, isn't the RAV4? You still have that, right?
No, they got rid of it.
Oh, you did?
We got the
Oh.
Model 3 and stuff.
Oh.
But
You
my
don't
dad-
just borrow the Cherokee Trailhawk.
Yeah, my dad has a Cherokee. If I really need to hit some trails.
I remember watching my friend, his property has like a driveway and then like sort of a service driveway that's unpaved. It was just like muddy and like kind of shitty.
Uh-huh.
And I watched him go through like thick, gross mud in his Model 3, and it just fucking figured it out. Like the traction
the computer's just like, oh, fine.
Yeah, he was just like, whatever. I'm just gonna drive through it, and it just like, burp, burp, burp. It just,
okay, we'll get it done.
Like kind of deep mud. Yeah, it was wild.
Like summer tires.
Yeah, he was just like, I'll just go this way. I don't give a shit. I was like, okay. I was like, damn, that's actually fucking, which is crazy. Like, I guess there's not quite a market yet for like an EV Jeep. I mean, there is an EV Jeep, but I mean,
a pure EV Jeep.
Something like if Rivian made like this is mostly for off road, it's small wheelbase.
What Jeep like supposedly has something like it's not a Wrangler, but it's like an electric version.
Yeah, it's probably not going to be.
I think it's like Avenger.
No, it's
something?
like the Recon. I think it's called the Recon.
I forgot. Yeah,
I don't think they've actually like showed it in person, but
and I don't want to be rude. I'm just assuming that it'll suck.
Yeah, well, it'll be alright. It'll be a Stellantis product.
I just mean something, and maybe this will be it. Something like ground up, like, dude, this thing can fucking crawl. Like it's 4 electric independent motor. Because it's such a big part of off-roading that's difficult is like, how do you control temperatures when you're doing like high load?
Yeah. Like
you usually need a big engine.
Yeah, like one wheel's in one place, the other one's
crazy gearing. The car is not moving, so you can't cool it.
Yeah.
It's like you need a lot of torque, but you're not moving, so you need high gearing or you need a big motor.
And it still needs to be efficient.
It's like, dude, EV is all of those things with like crazy traction control.
Yeah.
But I just haven't seen anyone make like a dedicated.
Yeah, the thing with like off road is like ideally you want something that's like not gigantic because like a half-ton truck or something just like not that fun. Like it can do it, but like you're not gonna like go on some like super technical.
Yeah, there's a reason Forerunners and like Wranglers and stuff
are fairly small.
Yeah, it's like you want size. You don't want huge size.
Yeah, you want it to be fairly narrow.
But I'm just surprised that no one has been like, here it is. Like this is it. Like all other off-roading stuff is now irrelevant.
Yeah.
Because we made this like crazy.
Have you seen? Speaking of EVs, have you seen that like Hyundai Ioniq 5N? It's like the Ioniq 5 is like that kind of like looking thing.
I think I remember. Is that the one where they put like fake gear shifts?
Yeah. It's like
actually like fast.
It's weird because like everyone like apparently like it's fun to drive or whatever. Like it's and it has this sort of it's got like fake gear, but
some gimmicky.
It kind of like
stuff.
stages the power to make it like feel more like progressive or whatever.
Yeah,
but I don't like the car seems neat, but it's going to be like. It's probably like $65,000.
Oh, really?
Like that just like I
that's like, getting into Mach E territory for me.
That's e-tron.
Something dollars to donuts. I'm going Audi e-tron.
So like it's cool that they're doing it. I mean like this is like the electric hot hatch, like the first real like electric hot hatch, and it's like there's got to be a pretty limited amount of people that are going to pay $65,000-$70,000 for an electric Hyundai.
Yeah, we're just like 10 years early on this shit.
Yeah.
Because they're doing everything they can to make them as cheap as possible. But it's like, but the core of it is this battery pack.
Right.
Where prices are dropping, but just not, it's like we're just a little bit too soon where it's like, this is viable. But it's like, that thing needs to be like low 40s.
Yeah. And it's like 5,200 pounds or something like that. Like it's an electric hot hatch.
Yeah. I think the weight. I guess I don't know. I'm not an expert. I feel like they're probably always going to be heavy.
I like the way it looks, but it's like a hot hatch is not 65,000. That's like M3 money.
Well,
that's like
that's
touching
ridiculous.
like M3 money.
Yeah. I think EVs will probably just always be kind of heavy.
Yeah, I mean the Tesla does a pretty like I think the 3 like the performance
for what it is.
It's like 4,000, which is like
it's
about as light as like a fast EV has gotten. So
and you know what? I guess that. You mean a fast ICE? I was going to say that's about the weight of like a Mustang.
Yeah, so I mean like in terms of like a dual motor, like electric, decent range EV, that's about as light
as they can get.
As they've gotten.
Yeah, so far, that is what I like. I don't want to go on a Tesla rant.
Oh,
they build those cars so holistically,
right?
Yeah,
where they can make them lighter, because like from the ground up, and even the way that it's like a single central computer
Yeah.
running everything,
Right,
and like all, it's just like everything about it is like, yes, this is actually well designed,
Yeah.
and no one's really doing this yet. I mean, I that might not be true anymore.
Right.
Like maybe I'm guessing it's not like Audi's dumb.
What do you think about like Tesla? I guess like they allow other companies to use superchargers.
Oh, superchargers, yeah.
Like I don't know to what degree, but I keep seeing these things like welcome whatever, like welcome Audi to the supercharger.
I think
network or
Hyundai
whatever.
gets to use them now. Yeah.
I know that everyone is adopting their charger
the plug.
Yeah.
I didn't know that they were allowing. I don't think it's a big deal. I mean, I think it'll suck for maybe a year or two.
Yeah.
But they'll just keep building more
building them.
superchargers.
Yeah.
It's not going to. It'd be like, oh, now we're going to allow Hondas to use Chevron gas stations. You'd be like, what? It's like just build more gas stations. Like it will eventually not be an issue.
Yeah.
It's just for the early cars, like they're dialing it in. Any Christmas where it's like, dude, the supercharger line was around the corner. It's like they will take that feedback and like, put more in. But for a while,
they already have put more across the street from me. There's like two.
They're not going to stop.
There's 2 stations.
It's like, that's enough superchargers.
But I mean, it's just weird because like I guess people mention it, but it's like a Tesla like isn't just a car. It's like no, they built this fucking like
it's an ecosystem.
This like global like super easy to use like reliable charging
network. Yeah,
and just funny like we're Chevy and like we didn't really think about that part.
Yeah,
like,
they're not worried about that. Yeah.
You can provide your own.
You're
just charging at home.
Just
charge it at home.
No one is doing the amount that they do.
Yeah,
they design and make their own batteries. Like that is just crazy.
Yeah.
And now they're getting in, I think, to lithium refining and maybe mining as well. That's smart. It's like they want to be totally vertically integrated from the raw material
to the
up to the service, the dealer, like every step of the way. The car industry is kind of janky here and there.
I actually had to take ours for service a couple weeks ago. Yeah. And it was pretty sweet. Like it's not really a dealer, it's just like a
service
center.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, drop it off. Like, okay, your app says it's ready. Yeah. Like it's weird because like people say, well, Tesla's like an iPhone. It's like an iPhone on wheels. Like it really is. Like but an iPhone is like a good product. So
yeah. Well, they're just, if you want to do the ecosystem kind of method, you have to be consistent everywhere, and it feels like they are. That's why I'm such a fan of them. It's like I don't even own one. It's just like didn't you say you have the insurance? I was like, because like they're a little bit more expensive to insure most places just because I don't know materials or how it is to fix them. And it's like you should look into. So it's like in the Tesla app that you use to like unlock. It's like, do you want insurance? Yeah. So like it knows your car already. It's like so like I put that in. I put the Corolla in. It's like, okay, here's your quote. But do you want it? Okay. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll charge it to your credit card that's already like
on
linked to your supercharging account.
Yeah, I mean, that is what Apple does, where they're like, hey, here's this new thing, and you're already plugged into everything else. Yeah. Do you want to pay for like a news subscription? Yeah, and it's like, yes, I do. You're not swindling me. This is what I want. I want one login, and I want you to handle. And so they're smart because it's like, hey, we'll handle cars. Everything having to do with cars, like we'll handle it. And Apple's kind of like, we'll handle your personal computing. Everything to do with communication.
And meanwhile, fucking GM is like, we're all in on EVs, and it's like, oh, here's a like whatever
$150,000.
Yeah, here's like Smith's GM dealer. Like, come on in and talk to the manager about we just got the new Hummer in, bro. Like, come check it out. Like, hit me up on Facebook Messenger.
Like, come on down. It's a joke.
Like, tell him Johnny sent you. Like,
it's a freaking joke. Well, we'll see what we can do. You buy a Model 3, you fucking click a button.
Oh, this Hummer EV is very special. You're here to see the Hummer EV, bro? That thing's sick, bro. Let me show it to you.
Check this out.
Come talk to my manager.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do. I don't know. It's 20 grand.
These are pretty hot. We got a lot of people asking about this thing.
Yeah, it's a mess. Yeah. It's just that's what it looks like. Do you want to take it seriously, or do you just want to be like a second tier player?
Yeah.
And
that's part of why I think like I feel like they shouldn't even try to compete. Like, that's not to say like Tesla is the best, but just like it's their own thing. Like, why are you going to try to like beat them at like a game that they've been like doing since day one? Like, they don't have fucking dealerships. Like, imagine like navigating around. Like, apparently there's all this stuff with Ford dealers. Like, we don't want to sell EVs, or like we're tired of this.
Because which, you know, hats off, like they were trying.
Yeah.
They're like, we're gonna do like kind of a direct EV thing. And the dealers are just,
fuck them.
fuck you. Yeah, it's just like they're just at war with themselves.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna all exist. I don't think
At
it's
some
like
point, yeah.
Ford's going out of business.
No,
They won't. They'll figure
yeah.
it out. But it's just so clear to me that, and that's where it's not financial advice, but that's where all my kind of investment goes is into Tesla. Because it's like they're building, they're unraveling this huge thing.
Yeah, they're
Empire.
It's just an empire. I mean, you can watch them build it, and people are like, "Go, hurry up!" And it's like it fucking takes 10 years to build, but they're doing it.
Right.
Where you look at GM. It's like they're not unraveling shit. They're who even knows what they're doing?
What was that like that Blazer?
The Blazer.
It's like, God damn, that thing
Chevy
sucks.
Blazer. I don't even know what it looks like.
It's just well, you can just picture.
Here's another one.
Picture
It looks kind of like a Camaro, right?
Here it is.
It's like an electric like crossover
Right.
version of it. It's like it's fine, but it's like this This is your revolution.
Well, look at the Cybertruck. Like you kind of have to look at what does it have to be impressive for an EV to launch.
Yeah,
and it's gonna have to be more than acceleration. like they're launching them like they're here's the new 2023 ICE powered whatever, and you're like, oh, like it got an extra 20. It's like if you're switching to EV, you need to be bringing more to the table, and it takes so much R&D.
Yeah.
And it's like they're just not doing it. People are excited for brand new crazy
I think the
innovation.
problem is people are like, oh, like what's our most popular vehicle? Like, oh, it's the RAV4 or the Equinox or
the Grand Cherokee,
CRV, whatever it is. So like, okay, so when we do an EV, we need to do like an EV version.
Okay, do an EV Equinox.
Yeah.
Like,
so it's like
this is where the money is.
Yeah.
Like, oh, wait a minute.
This
scaling back plans.
Because like, especially if you're like hesitant about EVs or like you're not sure about them, like that's not going to fucking get you. Oh well, then I saw the Blazer.
Oh,
EV.
the vehicle we were contemplating buying also comes in a $10,000 more expensive version with questionable technology that I'm kind of unsure.
I'm not sure if I can go and take it on a road
I've
trip.
never owned this before. Yeah, they're just like Is weird to see too. Like the American companies all be like, we're fucking all in, and then lately they've been like, we're pulling way back.
We're reevaluating.
Yeah, it's like, wait, you didn't have like some other plan? Like
I don't think they did.
like we all knew it wasn't going to work if you just made EVs. Like I thought it was like we're all in and wait till you see
the electric,
the fucking like step change. No, it's not going to look like what it's looked like in the past. It's going to be way different. And then they start making these like boring, expensive cars, and it's like that was the plan. Like no shit, it's gonna fail. It almost it's so dumb. It's either just massive kind of group incompetence, or it was on purpose.
Yeah.
Or it was like, dude, we tried. You have to modify the legislation because we literally tried. You saw how hard we tried.
We did our best.
Yeah, we absolutely did our best. Like it almost feels more like that.
Yeah, I think I heard like Volkswagen is like struggling bad. Like,
because do you want any of their cars?
They've like stripped away like any of like VW should have a fucking like electric bug. Yeah, that's like then they should have that fucking like dune buggy. Like that's the kind of stuff like, oh, like that's cool.
Yeah, like it just I always blame middle to upper management because you've got these companies, we know they all have fabulous engineers, like they can make good products,
and they have like a good heritage to like draw like
they have
cool
so much
stuff
going on. It's just the people who are like, no, we fucking need this now. Like no,
we need the IQ
free. There's a lot of people at those companies that are just like, what the fuck, man, like this is so
sitting
stupid.
in some Zoom meeting.
You're working on this design, you're like, dude, no one's gonna buy it. It's like it's gotta be the worst. You're like, well, I don't know, maybe.
I spent 3 years of my life on this thing and it sucks.
Like when they have the teams, like I was watching maybe like a month ago, Savage Geese's Z06 video where they like interview all the whatever. It's like, oh, they're so passionate. When they're testing that car, or like a good car, they must all be like, oh dude, just fucking wait till this thing is on sale. People are gonna shit their pants. Like they must just be so like they're going to work every day like, oh, we gotta get this done because it's gonna be so good. We can tell. When you're working on any of these EVs, they must just be like, dude,
oh shit,
this thing sucks. Like they must just be like, this actually isn't even something I'd want to buy. Like, you know, they're just, it's got to just be drudgery. Like, all right, like how's the Monday status meeting? How's the powertrain? Like, just fucking it's fine. We're working on the. Like they can't be like excited about it, which is just the saddest part. Like, it's just all these people. Think of the amount of man hours just sort of wasted on the Blazer. Here's the new, even the like fast version. The team is who cares? It's fine. I think it's just like young guys cutting their teeth. You just put in your. I'm hoping to work at Tesla, so this is like the stepping stone. At McDonald's. You gotta flip burgers.
Someday I'll get promoted.
Like someday I'll move up. So I don't know. It's an interesting time. But in the meantime, like I was just thinking about it, it's like there's so many new cars on sale that are awesome. There's so many cars just going out of production that are awesome.
I keep thinking that I have no need for one, but like the newest STI is.
The latest one.
Like the last one you can buy.
Like a 2022.
Like that, just like that. I feel like that's like a kind of like a rock solid,
pretty solid
buy.
Solid
so you can get one that's like virtually new.
Like
you can get like a 21 or 20 for like 32 grand or something. Like you could drive it every day if you want, or you could just like enjoy it. Like it's a pretty good like balance of like special and still usable.
And it's the last one,
right? Like they're not gonna like, oh, there's a new one that's way better. Like yours sucks now.
There's certain cars too that I was looking at where it's like you gotta, when you're looking for long term, I don't want to say investment. That is never the right word. When you're talking about something that's less than like $100,000 basically. But the best you can do is like basically drive it for free.
Right.
And the things to look for that I look for are wealthier people. It's not really interesting to wealthier people because it's not really a flex, but it's too expensive for kind of poor kids. And so you find like a new STI, it's like but they just get like a beat up 06. Like they can't swing the brand new one.
Find the sweet spot.
And so you actually end up with like, oh, these are actually kind of a deal, because they're at the upper end of what people can afford.
And you can still you can catch it before like they fall into those like
and then it's like tiers. It's like they're not buying a like 2021.
If you imagine if you could have bought like an Evo 8 or 9 in like 2008 or 2009 when it's like 3 or 4 years old.
Exactly. It's like this is still like a cool car.
It's still like it's like still might have part of its warranty left. And,
I just saw Evo 8 MR. I don't really know the trim or whatever, but it's bone stock on Bring a Trailer with I think 40-something thousand miles, and it sold for 50 grand. And so it's like, I mean, it's like, I'm not criticizing the price. I always look at that stuff and I'm like,
I mean, that car was probably close to 50 grand inflation adjusted when it was new.
Yeah. I'm just kind of thinking like, he drove that car for free. You know, like nicely done. And it's not like, oh, it's 3,000 miles, like 40,000 miles. Like
it's like taken care of, but used.
I suspect the S2I would kind of be like that. It really does have to be, if you care about like the money part, it really has to be a car that there aren't many nice ones. Like it has to sort of be stuff that like people are just driving into the ground. And STI is a pretty good one.
It's funny because me and John went to this like cars and coffee thing yesterday.
Oh yeah.
And there happened to be like, it was fun, but there happened to be like, 2 or 3 other guys that had GR Corollas.
Yeah, there was 4 there total.
Oh, really?
Four including mine. So we were all like talking. And it's kind of funny because all the guys were like, I don't really want to like do that many mods to this. Like, it's like people have like, kind of like learned a little bit. They've noticed that like,
anything you do,
the more money and like time you invest in modifying it, like
it's lost money. It's you're not getting it back.
Right. Yeah. So it's just kind of funny.
I enjoy watching the stuff go up
Although
and do poorly because of it.
Yeah, though we were talking.
You thought those headers were cool, didn't you?
Although, like part of me, like the old school, like hot rodder in me, like does kind of like when the guy's like, yeah, I just bought this brand new whatever. Like first thing we're doing is like an Inferno Stage 3, just like how like how quickly can I get fucking ethanol injection?
Well, I would never participate in it, but I like how it's like a new car's out and like every shop's buying it, and just like how they've already got like they're already pushing 600 horsepower. It's like that is just sort of the hobby, right. Like following that
it's
stuff.
Like I appreciate it, but I don't want to partake. But
I don't want to partake. But it is pretty sweet. Modding cars is sort of it's kind of a weird flex. Yeah, because that's like in the reality of it is just like, God, that's a waste of money.
No matter what.
It's like, good Lord. But when people have like, it's like a brand new 3 Series on like $4,000 wheels,
honestly,
and like carbon, whatever.
Honestly, I think the 510, the Datsun 510, might be the only car that I can think of that's actually worth more modified than bone stock.
Those things suck.
Like if you had like a 7510 that's like showroom condition and one that has like Watanabes and either like side drafts or an SR swap or whatever, like side to side, like I'm pretty sure the modified ones are going to be worth more.
Because again, so much of this is just about the feeling.
Right.
And it's like, who wants to pull up in the dumbest looking, like there's like weak little like.
But can you think of another car?
I would say
that's actually worth more.
Yeah, I would say
where there's a version that's not bone stock that's worth more.
I kind of suspect Civics, like 90s Civics, are kind of like that. Yeah, they have to be done really well.
Yeah.
But it's like no one wants a stock Civic.
And it would have to be like a fairly lowly trim.
That's more what I mean. Like the ones that were known for modifying. Because it's kind of like the 510. It's like the whole point is that it wasn't that good.
Right. Like not a Type R.
But the bones were good. Yeah, that is interesting though. There's not. It's just stuff where,
like a Mark IV Supra is probably not worth more modified.
No, I don't think so.
I think it depends. I've watched a few of them where it'll be like, it's like because they're kind of the classic.
Yeah, if it has like, it's got like the
but again, it's because people's memory of that is it was like kind of lowered, the enormous single exhaust at an angle. It's like when that kind of stuff sort of is the look,
permeates the
because again it's like, who gives a shit about a stock turbo Supra really? Like who actually, this is not like
an EcoBoost Mustang will like outperform it, like
this is not like, dude, step into this fucking 69 Firebird, this is a blast from the past. Like a stock Supra is like like it's super quiet exhaust. It's a Toyota from the and so I think that kind of stuff where it's like, it's like an HKS catback,
right.
And some like TRD springs and some expensive wheels. It's like, great. That is what my high school fantasy was anyways. It's just things where it looks like this guy just had his way with his car.
He had his fun.
He had his fun.
He took it out back.
Like what am I buying here? Where certain mods they almost look the opposite, where it's like, oh dang, this person like
went for it,
took care of this thing. Or a 510, a stock 510.
I mean, it's sort of neat in like a historical, like museum,
museum piece.
But no one's gonna be like, I just yearn for those like 165, 75, 13s or whatever.
Yeah, even a 240Z is not that.
Like
a bone stock one would be like crazy.
Yeah, still probably. I mean, they're probably fairly close, but they're still like,
I think so.
They're still at least equal.
Right? Yeah, because a lot of people. I just feel like 240Z is just like, hey, did you miss out on Porsches?
Try this.
Are you? Yeah, did you not get the memo for that? But you still have
time.
You still want some, because people are the ones that'll sell really well for those would be like side drafts.
Right.
Like this thing, the noise on this thing is like crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be anything extreme, but
Speaking of that, I feel like what I've been noticing, it's got to be the most overused, just sort of in the spirit of people pumping up their own cars. Probably the most overused like descriptor of an older car is raw. like if you know,
Very
it's like,
raw.
it's like it's raw. Like it is
the last
just
of the raw.
Yeah, this is
it's the new analog.
it is.
Yeah.
It is. It's like
raw.
it's like street talk for analog.
Yeah.
And it's just like, no, it's just worse. like it's just and the definition of raw like moves. It's always one or two generations behind whatever's brand new.
Yeah.
Because cars just get nicer
Right.
over time and kind of more disconnected.
Yeah.
And it's like cars that were like made fun of. Like a lot of people I have kind of seen driving GTRs. So they're like awesome cars. R35s.
Yeah.
They're like, damn, these are actually kind of old school now.
Yeah. Do you know what's actually? Do you know what's funny is you actually see more in America. You see more like R32s and R33s than you do R35s.
Yeah. Every time that was another one.
Like I had this thing yesterday. There was like 3 or 4 like
three.
right-hand drive imported.
Really?
And like not a single. I don't think there was a single
California plate.
R35.
Oh no, there wasn't. Yeah. I've seen an R35 around.
No, I mean you
town.
see them every once in a while.
Yeah,
But it's like even like driving around, you almost see more imported
I know.
Skylines than you do R35.
That was another one I kind of went down the should I
Yeah.
buy
Yeah,
it?
I'm so conflicted on. I'm not conflicted, but
I
it's like,
love them. Man.
they're cool, but it's a weird, like it's heavy and it's automatic.
Well,
it's fast.
you have to be buying it like I just want like a track weapon,
Right.
Yeah.
and not an experience. I think it would be an experience car, but it's just like it's like Golf R.
Would you
kinda
daily? You would
style.
daily it?
Fuck no.
That's
No,
what I mean.
not
That's
a
what I mean. So
GTR.
it wouldn't fit what you were looking for.
Oh yeah, but if I got something that cool, because the discussion in my head is something very cool that lives in the garage and keep the Camry,
Yeah.
or one car,
Right.
Yeah.
And so something that was that.
But you already
expensive.
have the first one.
Currently, I have the first one.
Yeah.
If I were you, I would just spend like 15 grand and buy a nice car and then keep the Vet. Just sell the Camry.
Yeah.
Spend
I mean, that's also an
buy
option.
buy a GTI for like 18 grand.
Just
and then
keep doing
the
what I'm
Vet,
doing.
And you have like a nice car
Yeah,
to drive
nice
every day. And
heated seats.
Install the fucking Vet.
Fucking Vet.
Yeah.
That's what I have basically.
Yeah. God, every time I just start that thing, it's like, this is so sick. I just can't.
Does it have aftermarket exhaust?
The Vet?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a X pipe and
That's right.
louder. And it's pretty loud, which I like. I mean, there's times where it's like, I want to drive the Vet, but it's after like 8.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't fucking.
There's no quiet mode.
Yeah. It has such a like. The other day I started it and it like backfired on startup. It was so sick. It's just like, wow, pop. Yeah. And someone was walking their dog and I saw him like jump. It's like, this thing is fucking crazy for 30 grand, like museum piece Z06. Fucking, I mean, it just sounds amazing. I feel like I'm in a Harley because I'll be at stoplights, and if I get next to another car, the exhaust kind of bounces off the car, and I'm just sitting there like, vroom, vroom. Yeah, and I've had it for like 2 years, or it's like it's just. I know we go on and on about the C5, but it's like the fact that people aren't buying these. It's like, dude, it's a go-kart with a simple V8.
Yeah.
Could there be anything more timeless? Like, especially moving forward, it's like, no more V8s.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
dude, you can pick this thing up for like 15 grand.
Or 6,500.
Yeah, or 65. It's just like, it's just such a pure, you want to talk about raw, like all the descriptors they use. It's like, it's a V8
Have you seen the quality of the switches
with
inside?
rear wheel drive, a 6-speed, limited slip, and it weighs 3,000 pounds.
50 weight balance or close to it.
50.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's mind-boggling that they're not more popular.
Yeah.
And I think they are. I mean, it's not like they're
It's a
unpopular.
Vet,
Yeah, but I'm just like, how are there not more people just like talking about these? And then every fucking review you see is like, well, there's a couple there. It's like, the interior,
Yeah.
like,
The buttons,
yeah, the buttons. Like,
the door panels.
I think they will keep getting more expensive because as they get older, like when people review 80s cars, they're not like, well, these are ergonomics.
Yeah,
It's just like, you fucking get what you get.
Right.
It was the 80, you know, it's just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like you just gets a pass after it seems like, I don't know, 30 years maybe.
I would say 20 years. Really.
You'd think, but they're getting there.
It should be 20 years.
Yeah. I was watching it's too bad they're expensive. I can't tell if I want things because they get expensive. You know, there's always like, oh fuck, I could have just bought one of those
When they were
5 years
when they were
ago.
cheap. Yeah.
Now that they're unattainable, I want one. But Fox Body Cobra.
Yeah.
It's like so good.
Those are
looking.
a lot of money now. Though.
Now they're really expensive.
They're like 30.
But anyways, I was watching one and it was just reminding me, it was like the driving video.
Yeah.
And the speedometer bounces.
Oh, I remember that.
For whatever reason, Fox Bodies do this. The speedometer is bouncing between 5 and 60 miles an hour.
Remember when
It just doesn't know. Yeah.
Remember when we were driving my brothers?
Yeah.
And we were gonna we had this idea to make a video.
We do have a video somewhere of just
whoa,
just filming the speedometer. Whoa, because it's literally
it's like the stupidest looking.
yeah, if the speedometer has 270 degrees of range, it's just bouncing between.
It's just like a loose needle in there.
It's just it's sort of like bouncing sporadically as you accelerate, though. It's trying to keep speed,
it's doing its best.
but it's plus or minus 80 miles an hour. And so I'm watching this video, and it's like, why aren't people fucking making fun of the speedometer? Do you maybe think because it doesn't fucking matter?
Right.
It's just this thing
Yeah.
that these cars do. It's well, you're gonna.
It's a little quirk.
Yeah, you're gonna want an aftermarket speedometer. It's or you could stop being a little bitch and just appreciate the fucking car for what it is, because that stuff just couldn't be more irrelevant. It just couldn't matter less. And so it's but you have to buy cars while they're made fun of in that way.
Right.
That is when I bought the M5. I remember.
That's the bottom.
Yeah, I remember it was oh yeah, they're kind of creaky and they're pretty heavy and underpowered. They're super maintenance intensive. And I remember seeing, because I was trying to decide, similar at the time, it's I want a fun car.
Yeah.
What am I going to get? And I remember seeing a post where someone was like, dude, it's a rear-wheel drive, 6-speed V8, 400 horsepower BMW. It's always going to be popular. And I was like, fuck, he's right.
That's true.
That is it. And then just over time, people were like, that's the best driver's car.
The steering feel.
Yeah, they're so raw. These are just so raw.
One of the rawest sports sedans.
And so you have to buy cars when people are kind of making fun of them.
Right.
Oh, the fucking...
Yeah.
windshield wiper controllers dumb, the turn signal. It's none of that shit matters.
Have you seen the panel gaps?
Panel gaps. You kind of have to focus on, okay, if people weren't making fun of this, is this an experience from a bygone era?
Right.
And if the answer is yes, then it's probably going to do pretty well. That's just how I feel about the C5. It's dude, pop-up headlights and a V8.
Pop-up headlights.
Yeah, and they're terrible headlights.
The only bad, we said before, the only really bad thing about the C5 is that a lot of them have automatics.
Yeah, I didn't realize this till I looked into it. They made 300. I think it's about 300,000 of these things
total.
A lot of them, total from 97 to 04. And you were the one who made me look. It was 66% or something
were
auto.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because people are all these things are cockroaches.
I mean, to be fair, an auto C5 is still probably kind of fun.
I'm sure it's fun.
They're quick and they're.
It's just
fun.
If you're looking.
Yeah, it's just it takes away a big part of the sports car experience.
And I think they are probably swappable without too much effort. I'm sure that is dialed in at this point.
Yeah, you would think so.
But yeah, it's okay, now you realize there's only about 90,000 stick
right
vets.
That's including Z06. That's all.
No, I think it's probably let's call it that.
Yeah.
My numbers are starting to get way off because Z06s, it's they're all stick, so it's easy.
Right. That's probably the best thing about them.
Yeah, but then so that's another 30,000 sticks just immediately kind of added into the pool.
Yeah,
but of the convertibles and coupes, it was 66% were automatic, which is crazy to me. It's oh shit, there's actually not.
Yeah.
And then people just have it in their mind. I mean, maybe this does matter, but you can't rebuild the ABS brain pump or something from the 97.
Oh yeah, people always talk about that.
To 2000 cars. And so people are you want to avoid the.
So what does that just mean? You won't have ABS?
If it goes out, you have. They don't make a new one,
right?
And so you have to swap it.
You
with
have to find a junk car, or something?
Either a good used part, which apparently is $2,000,
or can you just go without ABS,
or you just don't have ABS, like a man, or you just take it like a man.
Go back to the good days.
Yeah,
I can't remember the last time I even fucking engaged.
Stood
ABS.
on something.
Stood on.
I haven't. Honestly, I haven't either. I did one. I did one time in the Lexus, the LX.
Oh.
I don't
Is that what I had?
I don't even know if I feel ABS at the like track days and stuff. You would think it would be going crazy, but I don't.
You got to get on it.
It's a
pretty hard.
noticeable
ABS is like panics.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
like I didn't know this corner was coming up.
Right. You probably shouldn't be leaning because it's like
because at the track like you've already
you're like foot to the floor.
Fuck.
2 feet.
Yeah, the nose is like diving down. Yeah, it's an interesting. Do you remember when people were like ABS? Yeah, I want some computer.
I remember in Initial D, the cartoon. There's like one part when he's like, "Oh, he has human ABS."
It's fluttering his foot,
using both feet like really fast.
They're talking about like this guy's like technique.
He's so good. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he says something like, "How do you do that with ABS? Like, he doesn't have ABS. He has human ABS."
He is the ABS. Yeah, it's just so good now. Like, it's kind of interesting how electronics. You remember when they were starting to come, like early 2000s? It was just always the issues, like traction control.
Like a Fox body does not have ABS. Like that was like a Fox body Mustang is like a pre-ABS.
Yeah, I think early 90s is when it started to become like an option.
Yeah.
So I think one of my Civics like didn't.
Right.
Or you could like get it like on the EXL.
So like a C5 without ABS is not like
who gives
out of
a
the
shit.
question.
Yeah, nah, I don't think so.
Yeah. Mine probably doesn't work. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? No, it'll throw a code.
Well, I mean, like it's the funny thing about mine. I sadly have to park it outside. Like every time after it rains, I'll like start it up and there's all these messages. But then like I start it off and I start it up and they all just go.
Nah.
Dude, it's like suspension fault, ABS fault, something fault. But then like
shut up.
But then they all just go away. So
shut up, nerd.
I was like, something just got wet.
Little
Well, like it doesn't drive any different. So I don't know.
Yeah. I think a lot of stuff can fail and those things can still like there's just not a lot going on with them. It's another thing I like.
Yeah.
Just not a lot of
you can just bypass
it's like computer. Yeah, pretty sweet. C5. Damn. Yeah, we'll see. Because every time I drive it, I'm just like, this thing is awesome. This is kind of all I ever want. Like, honestly, it's rare that I even go full throttle. Even when I'm getting on the freeway, it's
dial it back a little bit.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want more power. It sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I love the look. It gets a bunch of attention.
Yeah.
It's cheap to insure. It's actually pretty good on gas. It's that's weird too, because I'll do my little like 10-mile loop.
Yeah.
You know, my like Sunday drive.
Yeah.
The M5, I honestly think it was I think I was averaging like 6 miles per gallon.
That's like track day.
Yeah, that thing was like, because it wasn't even city miles. It was like cold city miles. And like that thing felt like you were waking up an old man. Every time I drove it, it drove so much differently from when I pulled it out of the garage to 10 minutes later. The suspension had to warm up. Like it seriously, it drove so much different once it was warmed up. The Vet, as soon as you start it, it's just like that's how it runs. Yeah,
it's like a Tesla.
The motor just never changes, whether it's bone cold or 200 degrees. It's so like it's like ready to go,
ready to service.
Yeah, the fucking M5 was like weird. You had to like tiptoe around, but yeah. The Vet actually seems to get kind of good mileage. When I'm.
It's funny because when I drive mine, I'm like, oh fuck, this thing is like sweet. And like, I forgot it has 6 gears.
Yeah, you get on the freeway, it's like,
it's just like, it's like 6 gears, like,
it's kind of nice. Yeah, 6 gears like a joke. It's crazy. I was thinking about driving mine today, but I was telling John, it's like the trip down would be fun because like, we can't wait to show the boys. I'm coming down. Like it's gonna be worth it.
We'll surprise them.
Yeah. They're not gonna my Vet. We're gonna like kick the tires. But the trip back would be like,
oh damn it! I gotta go home. It's dark.
3 hours. Yeah, it's dark. There's nothing to look forward to.
Yeah,
and it's all on the same day. And like that car, I just need like another like inch of headroom. And so it's like I kind of have to slouch. Damn. Well, it's not the headroom actually. I fit in it, but I need to get rid of the visor.
Oh, I've done that on a lot of cars.
Yeah, because I can't. When I go to look out, it's like there's.
Do you ever actually use your visor? Put my visor down.
Well, especially not in that thing.
Yeah.
It's literally like cardboard with like carpet sprayed onto it. Like it's the cheapest, shittiest feeling thing. I put it down once and I was like, I'm never touching that again.
It's gonna like chip off.
Yeah, thought I was gonna
Bend
like
it, yeah.
break it, just fucking touching it. But I want to get rid of it because it sits right in my
like
eyesight.
Even when it's closed?
Yeah, it's like folded down.
Like every
the,
Miata I've had to like take it off just so I could like see better out of the windshield.
Yeah, and so that is why I slouch. I fit in the car fine, but it's like fuck, I can't like see.
Didn't you put aftermarket seats in it?
Yeah, and they dropped it a little bit.
I was gonna say, can you get like a bracket that just lowers
That's what I mean.
the
I
seat?
either need to get a bracket that lowers it, or the easier thing would just be.
Do you remember
rid
with
of
your
the visor.
stock seats, the like bolster would just like jam into you? Or are my seats just like worn? It's like the the side bolster. You could just like there's like a metal bar.
Yeah, mine never did that.
It's just like it's like ow.
Dude, you should get if you're gonna keep that car, you should get seats.
Yeah.
It changes the fucking car.
I'll just get yours,
Especially if you're gonna track it. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I should sell. Damn. I should sell mine. Yeah, it totally changes the car because the stock seats, even moving past all of their other just
quirks,
just insane issues. Yeah, fucking
quirks and
features. A seat having problems is the craziest thing to me.
Yeah,
it's like
the fucking seat.
The seat.
Yeah,
like don't sit on it too hard. Yeah, it's like it's the seat. How do you fuck that up? Anyways. They're pretty comfy.
Right.
And so they're just sort of like squishy.
Yeah.
And it sort of makes the whole car feel softer. Yeah. And then like when I put my seats in, I was like, fuck, this thing's like kind of hardcore.
Yeah,
it's more raw.
It's way more raw.
It's just funny because like the seats don't really like hold you in at all.
No.
But they also have this huge side bolster that like just like jams into my back when I try to sit in. When I'm like slouching to get into it.
Yeah, mine don't do that. It's tricky with those cars. I genuinely feel like those cars would be more popular if you've said this, the wheel options. If you could put like JDM wheels on those, everyone would have a C5.
Yeah. They're like 5 on 4.5.
Yeah. So they're like a weird offset and a weird bolt pattern.
Yeah. Staggered, like factory staggered.
And then it's very hard to put seats in them because they're so narrow. Unless you went with like a Recaro pole position or something like that would fit with a bracket,
like a full race seat.
But if you just kind of want like a cool seat, it's like you're kind of boned. And I think a big part of it is because when they move the transmission from where a transmission normally goes to the transaxle, that's why they have so much foot room. The C4, your foot was like
you're kind of sitting sideways.
It was like this huge. The gas pedal was off because there's this big transmission.
Wide.
And so now it's in the back. So you had all this footwell room, but you kind of have this bulbous thing behind you. And so the seat. Like an aftermarket seat will sort of like hit the transmission tunnel. Well, there's another like 3 inches of room
behind it.
The stock seat could have gone to. They just haven't really like solved seat. Mine are pretty good, but they're not adjustable. And so you're just kind of like stuck with this bucket seat. Yeah, they're fine. $1,200.
Well, they're not adjustable back, but you can slide it forward.
You can slide it forward and back, but like the tilt, which is like it could deal with a little more tilt. But yeah, they were pretty nice. Yeah, pretty nice. So we'll see. I keep like checking my email and being like, "Is this the day where someone's like,
oh, I'm interested in your Corvette.
I want it." And I'd be like, "Fine." Like if someone else just like give me the money, I would sell it. But at the same time, I'm like, "Damn, this thing's fucking awesome." Yeah. It's pretty sweet. What are we at time wise?
I don't know, like an hour and 15.
Oh. I don't know. Just keep going a little bit. A little bit more.
I don't care.
All
right.
I haven't looked. I haven't looked at anything.
Yeah, we're just kind of
on the docket.
Just kind of going for it. Here's a few things that I was kind of thinking about. One of them is just people fucking walking in the street.
Walk downtown settings.
Yeah, just kind of like
jaywalking or just like walking alongside the street
in the lane. Okay, like usually like the other
like
lane,
the same way as traffic. You mean?
Yeah, they're usually
like walking in a bike lane.
They're usually members of the unhoused community. I will say
they're pillars of the community.
Yeah, I'm not talking about like just oh, there's Dan.
Yeah.
In the street. It's like there's just a human
Right.
who
Going about his business.
Yeah, maybe on some substances or something.
Right.
May or may not.
Yeah, may or may not. But they're just like in the street.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
This seems to, and it is.
Maybe a center divider from
Yeah,
every now
I
and
guess
then.
I am thinking of like a downtown setting, but I've just gotten used to like just driving around.
Yes,
Just like
not even slowing down.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
if there's like a traffic cone.
I had
in
to
the
do
street,
that. I had to
it's
do
like,
that the other day, and the guy got very upset at me for doing that.
for going around.
For
him.
going around you. Yeah,
Damn.
he flipped me off.
I'm in traffic.
Yeah.
I'm walking.
He was in
I
the
have the
middle
right
of the
way.
lane, and so I got over to the right lane and just passed.
He was just walking.
He was just walking,
Yeah,
and he
it's like-
flipped me off as I passed him.
He had places to be.
I guess he wanted me to hit him. I don't know.
He's probably walking to,
Yeah,
walking to work.
I think when I added this, I was like, it was like 8 in the morning, and I was going to get like a bagel, and there's already just a dude 8 in the morning, crisp morning air.
They have their own schedule.
Yeah, and there's just already a dude walking in the street, and it's not. I'm not talking about crossing the street.
yeah.
Just like
He's using the road.
He's using the road
sidewalk.
as some
as if
transportation.
he's a car. I'm just
Yeah.
like, God, come on, man.
Honestly, I'm sure you guys have seen, like, I think we've talked about it before. Like, there's all this stuff about like pedestrian deaths being up, and like cars are too big. Like, there's too many trucks and SUVs. Like they're dangerous for pedestrians. Blah blah blah. It's like I don't have like data to back this up, but I feel like
It's just more people
just
walking
a
in the
huge
street.
part of that increase is just more people in the
walking.
street, and like more like
Yeah.
intoxicated or drugged. Like that. I don't think it's purely just the car, the bumper design, or like the bumper height. It's like
Are more people being hit by cars?
right. Well, because
Or
they say like,
that?
the sight lines are like these pickup trucks are
Right.
so high that you can't see it. Like you can't see what's in front of you. But it's like I don't. These people,
Yeah, you're at a stoplight and someone runs in front of your truck and you don't see
These
them.
people aren't like, no, I was driving in a school zone and like a 5-year-old, I just couldn't see him.
I
like,
didn't see
like
him.
I didn't want to hit him, but I had no idea.
Yeah,
No, when
he
I was
even
driving
there.
down here on the highway, so it's like a 6-lane highway with a divided center, and you know how they'll just, for whatever, I don't know if they plant it or it just grows. There's just sort of like shrubbery
Right,
kind of in the middle.
I think it's supposed to like block the headlights going the other way.
Oh, okay. So it's that. It's like two
think- I think
guardrails
it-
with shrubbery
like
in the
big bushes
middle.
in the- yeah.
And it's
think
like,
that's what it's supposed
and it's
to
on
be.
the 99.
Right,
It's
yeah.
like a highway.
Thoroughfare.
And I'm driving, and I noticed there's like just like a guy
Yeah,
in the middle, just sort of like
That's
in
more
the
common now.
shrubs.
Yeah,
Which you didn't really used to see that often.
And it's like, what? It's so unsettling.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, what? This is not a place for people.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of stuff where it's like he just like trips and wanders out into the road.
Yeah,
It's like,
that's so like I think like yes, the trucks and SUVs are harder to see out of. Like you do have a bigger blind spot, but it's like causation is not correlate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like yes, this
That's
is,
an
this
easy
is changed,
target.
but it's like
It must be the design
Like
of
pedestrian deaths
cars.
are up because more people are driving
yeah,
pickup trucks.
this must be
Like,
because
yeah.
of pickup
it's
trucks.
like like because like the Chevy Tahoe's grill is higher or whatever. Like
yeah, show me the data.
Yeah.
Show me the test.
Right.
Or it's fucking people with schizophrenia walking in the street.
Yeah, and just like more of them in general. Like,
Yeah. It's little Susie crossing the road in front of your F-250.
Right. Yeah.
You just roll over her. I haven't actually, maybe it happens. I have not heard that news story. Man pulls forward over family.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like there are like tragic stories. You do hear like someone like backed into their 2-year-old, like they just in the driveway.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it happens, but like I don't think this is the big increase in pedestrian fatalities. So, I don't know.
You know what I'm surprised they don't do more of is when you're at low speeds, they don't just do the like bird's eye camera.
Yeah, or like a front, or like
I'm surprised. Remember how, I don't know, maybe like 20 years ago, it's like people kept trying to replace the side mirrors with like screens.
Oh, yeah,
There'd always be like
yeah.
a concept car, and it's
Yeah.
like, it doesn't have side mirrors.
Yeah.
It has like cameras and
Cameras.
screens or
Yeah.
something. Like, I think that is a little dumb,
Yeah.
but I'm starting to see more. Actually, I think the Cybertruck does this. It doesn't have a rear view mirror. It's just a video feed.
right.
Well,
And
the Jeep has that.
It's in the mirror.
Yeah, you can change it. You can change
Yeah.
it from a regular mirror, or you flip a switch and it just becomes a screen.
Yeah, this is on the screen, and
Yeah,
I
the
think
main
they
screen.
might even do more. It's just more. It's like anytime you park with that bird's eye view, it's like, dude, this is like cheating. It's
Yeah.
so
even
easy.
even the Model 3, like it doesn't, like you don't see the front camera when you park, but it has that little sensor, and it's like 24 inches, 20 inches, and 8.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, it's like, okay, so I'm not gonna like bump into the parking block or whatever.
Yeah, I just feel like the bird's eye view should just be kind of on
low
more.
speeds.
Even when you're going forward,
Just when you're, because it's just nice to like glance, like, oh, what am I?
Yeah, I use it like I go through like
it's crazy.
the drive-through car washes, where you have to like line up.
It's
your
like a
left.
video
and so
game.
I just like turn on. Well, the Jeep actually has a front-facing camera like in the grill,
Nice.
and it shows like the track, like where your wheels
crawling.
are for crawling. Yeah, so I just like change it on that,
Right.
And like I just look at the guy's like trying to direct you. And
Yeah,
I'm
you're
like,
like,
I got it, buddy. Like,
Yeah.
don't worry about it.
Don't worry
Yeah,
about
because
it.
like a few weeks ago, I made the like some like every couple weeks on Twitter, like someone or X or whatever,
Right.
someone will post thing like, look at how big this like new truck is compared to like a
The
Ranger.
image of like
Yeah.
a mini truck.
Yeah, and so like, and I made the mistake of like trying to
Oh, no.
get into the discussion. I was like, is there data on what types
Please
of vehicles
show me
are
the
involved in these like
Yeah.
this big, and they're like. Like shut up! And then it's like, but and like it's like people that drive pickups have small dicks. And like,
Yeah,
it's
just immediately turns to personal
it's like,
attack.
Yeah, it's just like
Okay.
like you hate pickup trucks.
Yeah.
Shut up,
That's
murderer.
like, which is like fair enough, but like at least like don't try to like couch it as being some like public safety advocate.
It'd be kind of funny. Like I actually stopped using social media
Probably a good idea.
last June. Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Oh, like fully, because you haven't been like active on it. In,
I don't read
like,
it.
a decade or anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I have not contributed to it for a long time.
Yeah.
But last June,
Just dipped out.
because it's just like every time I look at this, I get pissed off.
Yeah.
And I realized the other part was I was just kind of getting tired of low effort memes.
Yeah.
It was just like, what are the latest memes today? And I was just like,
Check the meme.
yeah, it's just like, do I really need to be seeing the same like 6 JPEGs with like funny words put on? Like it just kind of realized
Just hanging around.
yeah, I just kind of realized like I don't think this is adding anything, but I still the things that I do check, like bring a trailer or I read Reddit cars, which is kind of it's like pretty bad.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's good, but it's pretty bad. I still like check those incessantly. I'm not saying that I like.
You're not tuned out.
Yeah, I probably spend
You're not off
more
the grid.
time on my phone.
Your
Yeah.
screen time is still
My
up.
screen time is still
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
It's still insane. So I'm not saying that has even remotely gone down, but I've stopped consuming social media. And I think that is nice because there's kind of this sense of like, well, people are saying it. Like you can kind of invent like, oh, there's people out there.
This is in the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you just cut that stuff out, it's like no one around me's fucking saying
Right,
it.
right,
Like,
yeah.
you just kind of disconnected from you still get a little. I still read the news,
Right.
mostly headlines.
Yeah. That's enough.
The gist.
I still form strong opinions
that
based on
sucks.
headlines. Yeah, but that one is tricky. But anyways, it would be kind of funny to make like someone made that infographic. Like here's a Ranger,
Right,
and
right, yeah,
here's
yeah.
and it's like kind of a well done graphic.
Yeah.
To just make like completely wrong. Like science looking, but
Yeah.
like wrong.
Yeah.
Like actually, the F-150 is only like 12% larger. Like you just sort of like mess with it.
Yeah.
Like they've been lying to you.
You've been liked.
Yeah, just some like kind of like misleading memes. Like actually a modern
Yeah.
an EV puts out like 18 times more pollution. Like
Did you know?
just some kind of infographic that's like lithium off gases, like 12 times more
radiation.
methane.
Yeah.
Like you didn't know about off gassing.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know. I feel like that'd be pretty funny.
Study up, sheeple.
Yeah, study up. Like follow the science. It's just like totally fucking wrong. There's a hole in the ozone layer above Tesla's Gigafactory. like this stuff is.
Yeah.
I think those are more funny when people do that, and then like Twitter or X has to add that little like
This is
audience
actually
note, like this is community note. Yeah,
This is actually wrong.
yeah, this is not good.
This is incorrect.
Yeah,
Somebody made this to piss you off.
Yeah, that is kind of one of the that's probably like one of the coolest things that like they've done like since Elon bought it.
Yeah.
It's like those things used to have to come from like an expert.
yeah,
And
And now it's
like,
just like, oh, if there's enough people that like vote for it's like
well, it's so true because like Reddit, I know you don't look at Reddit, but
Yeah.
it's based on comments are sorted
Yeah.
based
Right,
on
yeah.
upvotes.
Yeah.
And so you'll see some back when I used to read it, it'll be like breaking news, like blah, blah, blah. And it's like, The first comment will be like, "This happened 2 weeks ago, and it didn't happen." And it's just like the first comment will be like, "That's not true."
Yeah.
Like you just scroll down, and it's like, what the title isn't telling you is like I don't most stuff. I don't even click the link. I just scroll down and someone will be like,
it's wrong.
Too long, didn't read is this single fucking sentence. And you're like, oh, who cares?
Right.
Like the amount of stuff that happens that's actually big news versus the amount of breaking stories is like 1 to 100 or something. Like breaking.
It's breaking.
I get a lot of breaking Disneyland news, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
Breaking.
Did you know a lamppost fell down on Main Street like 2 weeks ago? Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Damn.
No one was injured.
No one was injured.
Did you see that picture that I posted when my uncle drove his car into Disney?
Oh yeah, that was sweet. Yeah, back when they were working there.
Yeah.
What kind of car was it again?
It was a Carmen Ghia.
Yeah, there you go.
Like when my uncle and dad worked at Disneyland in the 70s.
Parked in front of the castle.
Just got here early. Like drove my car down Main Street. USA. Took.
That's back when you could do that. Like the main gate was like the parking lot was right there. Yeah, you could just drive right in.
The main gate. This is sort of related, but not to people walking in the street. I don't know. People misbehaving. So dumb. I don't know why, but I've already started. When people pull the people
you can't
pull
tease
the,
it.
One headlight is burned out, which is like just fucking.
Wait, hold on. I just got some like feedback thing in my.
What? Are you talking about that car that started?
That's a car. That's a car idling outside. Is it? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
It sounds like fucking like feedback.
Yeah, it does sound like feedback.
I think it's like a WRX.
Oh yeah, it might be the neighbor's WRX.
Does that mean that's coming in on the?
That's probably
on the recording.
That's coming in, but
better leave this in the cast.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like a buzz, like a feedback. Like,
bro, that's a boxer rumble you're hearing.
It's a good time for me.
Take a peek outside.
Oh no, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Where was I? Oh, so people. Okay, so one headlight has burned out. Which is
on the Camry?
I'm just saying
in general. On someone's
a headlight is burned out.
Right.
Which is like brake lights I kind of get. It's like, fuck, I got to fix that brake light.
Yeah.
If your headlight burns
One
out,
of them's down.
just go it's your headlight.
Right.
It's just such a bad look. So anyways, a headlight will be burned out, but they've turned the brights on.
I see. So it's got
a different bulb.
Yeah.
On the one headlight that's working.
Oh, okay.
Well, you would think that the headlight.
The one that I've seen is not that.
Wow. So both bulbs are burned out. The other one.
So they have or maybe they got in an accident or something.
They have one bright.
But it's like a single bright.
I'm going to make up for this.
I'm putting out the same lumens.
Yeah, they're kind of like, I'm making up for it. It's just like, what? You're coming up to like, is that a motorcycle? Like, and then you pass it and some like Ultima or something. Just like, it's like a pretty bad look. I see this stuff and I'm just like, I'm gonna write that down.
Make a note of that.
I mean, I see a lot of people driving with no headlights on, which is
or the other one is, I don't know who the fuck is in charge of aiming the headlights at Tesla. But like, figure it out, or is it the auto brights that are wrong? Like almost every time at night that I'm like blinded by a car,
it's from behind.
It's a 3 or a Y. No, the other side. Like, fuck, turn your. And they're bright. Those cars have bright ass.
Like lighting up the road.
Yeah, and I feel like I can't tell
if it's supposed to be like that.
I can't tell if it's brights or not. Sometimes you'll drive into a car and you're like, that has to be the brights.
Yeah,
being blinded, and then you pass them, and I'm always like, are they like lighting up the trees?
Right. Yeah.
Like I think I might just be. Yeah, it's bad. It's annoying. I can't tell if my eyes are getting more sensitive.
You know what's funny? Like, remember, like it used to be like a big deal. Like if a car had like HID or LED headlights, and now it's like every
car has LED headlights. Yeah,
yeah. I don't think. Jeez, you really rarely see halogens.
Yeah.
No.
And they work fine.
Yeah.
Like maybe I just have better night vision than people. The Camry has their projectors, but they're halogen.
Right.
And it's like, these are fine. Yeah. I don't need.
I mean, the LEDs are probably cheaper and last longer.
I think it is. It's all those things, but you don't have to make them as bright as they are.
Right.
I think people like. I mean, I'm not saying I dislike when I use headlights in a car and it's like, wow, everything is lit up.
Yeah.
But it is blinding.
Right.
It is so bright to oncoming traffic.
Yeah.
And you can do your best to aim them or whatever.
Right.
But there are just situations where you're going slightly
They're just
uphill,
right,
and they're it's just like
they're just doing their thing.
I feel like it's way more frequently.
But I mean,
than
like it
just,
used to be like in like the
blinded.
2000s or whatever. Like it was a big deal when like HIDs or whatever.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
like, oh, it's a luxury car.
I know.
Yeah.
Or like push button start or whatever. Like I feel like those things, like I don't know, to me is part of the reason why like luxury cars just kind of feel like kind of lamer than that. Like
It just isn't anything.
they're just like
The
what-
gap has narrowed.
Yeah, it's just like what
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
like? This is an Audi.
Yeah.
or whatever it is. Like
It's really
it's like
like
seat
leather.
quality.
Yeah, it's like leather quality
Yeah.
and amount of sound deadening.
Yeah.
And amount of like ambient lighting.
Yeah, and ambient lighting, but like
Color
even like
changing.
cheap cars have
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
it
It's just like the stuff has been like democratized
Yeah.
so much where it's like
yeah,
like a Corolla has.
or maybe like massaging seats.
Yeah, that's another one.
So yeah,
yeah.
you have to go like really.
Yeah,
Really
full
far
digital
into it.
dash.
And then all of those features like in the rear seat get them like,
Well, the problem is,
Well, do you remember? I remember even on the aforementioned Golf R that you're talking. Like some of those had like I forget what it's called, like the all digital cluster.
yeah,
Right.
2017.
And people are like, "Oh, like that thing is sick," and then like 2 years later, people are like, "Oh, I just love a car that has analog."
Yeah,
gauges."
yeah. You don't want the digital.
Yeah, digital
I
just so
prefer
the analog gauge is much more raw.
Yeah, that's another car that you hear the raw argument the most as soon as a new model comes out. And the Mark 8 Golf R, now I'm looking into it. It's another car that I'm like, maybe I better do some research. I'd better sit down. I'd better not work on any of the things I'm supposed
Honestly,
to
I'd
be working on.
buy a fucking Type R if you could that like
swing it.
I just don't think I would want to daily that car. It's so fucking rough looking and loud. I'd rather have an SI.
really.
I'd rather buy a Type R and have it in the garage.
Yeah.
Like I would
to like park outside.
Yeah. And that is a car I do keep coming back to that one because it's like
The SI or the Type R?
the Type R because there's so many cars like I really like LC 500s.
Yeah.
And I keep putting in my mind, it's like, dude, just wait a few more years. They're always going to be
Right,
there.
yeah.
Like there is no reason, like an NSX,
Right.
it's like they're always going to be
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
They're not going anywhere. There's not actually
There's not some like crowd that's
yeah, there's
waiting
not
for-
some, they're not going to get all consumed. Just wait till it makes more sense. This is not the time.
Yeah.
But the Type R is the type of car where it's like, I don't want to fucking buy a used.
Yeah.
Like
Type R.
like almost any other car, it's like, yeah, used. I don't
Right.
care about owning an LC 500
Yeah.
from new. I almost don't want to own
Right,
it from
right.
new. Like let someone else take
Type
the
R.
the Type R, it's like you just do not
Right.
know
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
even 5,000 miles. Like you just don't.
Very hard.
Yeah, so that is the type of car where I'm like, fuck, should I
Yeah.
just but I think we're still in the first model year, right?
I think the 24 is
24.
like just starting to come out.
I'm kind of thinking like, maybe I should. You run into two problems. One is that car is expensive as it is.
Yeah.
It will get more expensive.
Right.
So by the end of its run, it's going to be like,
I think it's like already went up like $1,000.
yeah,
just
by
like
the end of the run,
24.
it'll be like 48
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something. That's just
Right.
kind of what happens.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, but they usually do a refresh,
Right.
and
Like in
I don't know what they
26 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't know how many model years we're going to get out of that thing, but it'll probably be more than one.
Oh, yeah,
or
yeah.
two.
Right.
And so I was like, well, maybe I should wait for the
Yeah.
refresh. But I have been thinking about that car a lot because, it's just good.
Yeah.
It's just a good car. I wanted the one before it, but I was one of the ones who didn't love the
Yeah.
styling.
So,
Yeah.
And I love the styling of the new one.
Mm-hmm.
But I've also been thinking about Integra as a daily.
Type S.
Yeah, just like, should I just get that, drive it for a few years, and then buy a Type R?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's why I've just been
Damn.
going, and I get pleasure out of this. It's not like,
Yeah.
God, I'm just like,
I have to research cars.
I'm just, it's
God
like,
damn it.
maybe I should have just like put myself and then like,
Photoshopping yourself in the press
yeah,
photos.
and then I wake up the next morning like, I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I still have the Camry.
I still have all this money in my bank account.
Yeah, I'm like, do I actually
Honestly, like,
need
do
a new
you know how
car?
much? Do you know how many times how many more times I would switch cars if we didn't have to pay fucking
sales tax? Yeah.
Yeah, tax
Like
sucks.
literally, like as much as I switch cars, like I've lost more money paying sales tax than anything else.
Yeah.
Oh man, I wonder how much you've.
Fuck, I don't even want to like.
Yeah.
But I just mean, like, just say
Yeah.
like you went and bought a Type R, like that's $5
Yeah.
grand. Like just gave
Yeah.
$5 to the state,
Yep.
Yeah.
like that you'll probably never get back.
No.
Like if you get a new one, that's another
Yep.
$5 grand.
Yeah, you got to factor in
Yeah.
$10,000
Just- yeah.
of just tax.
Yeah, like loss, like losses plus
Yep.
additional.
And then the next person that buys it gets to do that as well.
Yeah,
farting it into the wind.
So fucking sweet.
Yeah, Type R. That is one that that one checks a lot of boxes. Other than that engine just doesn't sound that good.
Yeah. The engine in a way is like almost like the least impressive part of the car.
You know, someone was, I read something that was, the turbo, at least a big chunk of it is integrated into the cylinder head. On the Type R, and someone was kind of like, "Yeah, that's partially why it doesn't sound good." Because you don't, you don't
hear it spool up as much.
Well, you hear it spool up, but it's more like you don't get like headers. It's just this sort of like blob,
right?
You know,
sort of wheel that's part of the engine.
Yeah, it's like this turbo glommed onto the head. And so that's partially why. I think someone was saying a Golf R kind of sounds better because it's just like, it's a more standard manifold.
Even like the Corolla has like a very like kind of old school like turbo.
Yeah, I'm guessing that one has a actual manifold.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not 100%.
And I'm not even sure how true it is. someone said that. And I was
I know a lot of them like the turbo and the manifold are like the same. Like there's not even like a separate.
That's what I mean.
I thought the turbo was like bolted directly to the head.
It's not bolted. It's like cast.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure it's like.
I just thought they got rid of like the exhaust manifold, like that is built into the head, and then the turbo bolts
I'm not
to
positive, but I want to say it's not even bolted. But
like the exhaust half is
forged.
I don't want to. I'm dangerously out of.
That's why I need to watch a Savage Geese deep dive.
Some part of it is no longer something. The turbo. I mean, the closer you can get the turbo to the cylinder, basically, the better. And so it makes sense. But someone was like, that's why they just kind of sound like this sort of just
vacuum.
Even with like exhaust, it's like, I mean, they don't sound bad.
Right.
It's just very generic. It's very vacuum cleaner-esque. But I was looking at Golf R's, because the new one's like, it's like the worst infotainment or whatever, which I'm sure you get used to or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was kind of like, is it better to go with an old one or a new one? People were just like, I would never be caught dead. The old one is just more raw.
Just 7.5.
And then inevitably you get people where it's like, dude, I own both. It's so much better. Don't listen to anyone.
Well,
it's better.
And people people completely like dismiss like new versus used, like on a car like that.
Oh, right.
It's like people like before the GR Corolla came out, like people were like, how does it compare to a Focus RS? It's like
it's better.
It's like, well, I mean, like I'm like, no.
First of all, it's about $15,000.
Well, that's what I mean. But it's like, even if everything was equal, it's like one of them is a 5-year-old used.
Someo's been farting in it,
and the other one is a brand new. Like you can't really compare them. Like
that's why I also love when they do comparos, and it's just like that's someone's car, and with whatever hand kooks on it, and probably the OEM brake fluid that should have been changed. People just don't maintain cars at all. And I am guilty of that too. Like I also do not.
Yes.
It's just not fun. Spending money, like you kind of trick yourself into forgetting that cars require maintenance. Because
except for a Tesla, they never need
except for a Tesla. Because you can, like, oil changes are one thing. Oh fuck, gotta do the oil. But it's like coolant? Like I'm not gonna fucking flush.
Transmission flush.
Brake fluid. And so much of that stuff, it's like, I should just sell this.
Start fresh.
Like it's getting close to like needing stuff. And so spending money on maintenance that is just maintenance. It's got $300 coolant flush. It's not going to drive any different. It's just like dumb stuff. And so most people, even sports cars, Vettes they've got to be some of the worst. At least C5s, when I'm looking at them, it's like, oh yeah, this thing's got like 1,000 miles, original tires, as if that's some fucking selling point. I never even changed the tires. Like, great.
That's how I took really good care of it.
It's like, they buy these things and it's like, well, have you been like changing the coolant and brake fluid every 2 years? Just like, no.
Just rusted.
Just sitting. Like, that's not good ownership.
Like
that's they take maintenance. Like, they take money, even though it sucks. Speaking of which, when was the last time you bought wiper blades?
I bought some for my my old van, but then I sold the van before I was going to.
Really?
So they're still just sitting in my garage.
Speaking of putting off maintenance,
I was going to say I probably bought. Well, I don't even know for the STI, but I don't drive it in the rain anymore.
yeah. It's. I mean, part of it is it doesn't rain that much where we are.
Yeah,
so maybe this is different in other parts of the country, but it's like wiper blades.
Yeah.
It's not gonna.
It's a joke.
By the time you decide you need
spring.
them, exactly. So they're all like super old. So the Camry, I got a new windshield. Did we talk about that?
I don't think so.
The Camry.
Man, you and windshields, you just love.
Yeah, well, this one was all fucked up. Remember, it was in direct sunlight, and I was like, I'm gonna drive the car, so I'm just gonna hose it off. And I sprayed the windshield
that's right,
with the
it
hose,
shattered,
and
yeah.
it broke. It just like popped,
Yeah.
and I was like, that was weird. Like, it made a popping noise, and then I looked at it, and there was a line running like halfway down the windshield. I was just like, that's a thing?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even,
You can do that.
I didn't even know it was a thing. It's OEM glass. Like, I don't know. That was crazy. So anyways, I got a new windshield, which was kind of nice on an old car.
Yeah.
It was like very clear.
Right.
And it was like the windshield wipers were kind of letting it down.
Yeah.
Because like it would rain and it's like, oh.
They weren't doing their part.
Yeah, they're not keeping up their end of the deal. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy windshield wipers. They're so expensive.
It's like $25 a blade, right?
Yeah, it's
Sometimes
like
Costco has them and they're really cheap.
yeah, I think there are ways to get them cheap. If
Down
you
to
just
like
roll into
$18 a blade or something.
yeah, if you roll into AutoZone, they're like, oh,
we're gonna bend this guy.
baby.
Desperate.
And so he's like showing me the range, and I'm like, just whatever's the best. I don't know, just give me the like Rain-X ones.
Yeah.
So I spent like $80. I know. I'm just sometimes I do things where I'm like, yeah, just do this, and like while I'm doing it, I'm like, this is a mistake. Stop. Stop walking up to the counter with these in your hand. It's like, yep, I want these. So, anyways, I put $80. I haven't got to use them yet.
I know. Missing out.
And I so rarely change them that I always forget how to change. You're like out there like,
Yeah, you have to Google
how do
it.
these fucking things come off?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even figure it out.
You know what? That it kind of reminds me of like one thing that's kind of funny is like you can be like a fucking expert on cars. Like, but then like every time you go to look under the hood of someone's car, you're like, oh, wait, maybe it's over here.
Yeah,
Like,
where's
little
the hood
sweep.
latch?
It's like every
Little
car
sweep with your hand.
Yeah, like every car is different.
Where
like,
is
Yeah.
it?
Do you push it? Do you pull it?
It can make like the most like seasoned like mechanic look like an idiot. As
Yeah,
like,
when you're kind of fondling.
yeah, like is it on this side?
Is it deeper? Is it deeper in there? You're like up to your wrist.
Like an ideal. Oh yeah, like I just know where it is on every car.
Yeah, it's a good look when you just like nail it.
Yeah.
Luckily, you're like, fuck, there it is.
Yeah,
Boom.
yeah.
And then you have to do the like crouch of shame.
Yeah.
You're peering into the mail slot when you can't
Yeah.
get it. You're like, where the fuck is it?
Yeah, you pull your
Oh, I
phone
can see
out,
it. Yeah,
get your
Yeah,
flashlight
it's
going.
like an inch.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it was right there.
No, I know a lot about cars.
Yeah.
I know my way around cars. I really do.
And then you find it. It was like totally intuitive and obvious. It's like, oh,
Yeah, or even like the fuel tank button, like inside.
Oh,
Where the
where's-
fuck is it? It's in
where's
the
it?
door. Is it-
that one is tricky.
Yeah.
The fuel tank button gets weird. The Vet, it's like hidden. Is
don't
yours
remember.
that way? It's like in the center.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You have to like
Yeah,
open
yeah, yeah.
your center
Yeah, that's right.
compartment.
That's right.
And
yeah.
like press a button.
Yeah.
Why is this here? This doesn't
little
make,
trick of the trade.
yeah, this doesn't make any sense. Okay, well, boy, I feel like we're there.
The big 100.
Yeah, that
Is
was
this
it.
100?
Yeah, this is it.
Oh yeah.
We didn't even.
It's our new format.
Yeah,
man.
we didn't even announce it in the
Yeah,
beginning.
we just rolled in.
This is a new era.
Yeah, join the Patreon. That's the big thing we missed out on. I will say one thing. Okay, this is one last thing.
And finally,
It's not an and finally because
Okay.
it's still car related.
retract that and finally.
Actually, I will do an and finally
Oh, God.
also.
Damn.
So this one is like, someone was talking about the i8. BMW
yeah.
did
Yeah.
the i3 and the i8, and it's like kind of a sports car. I don't know what to call
Yeah.
it. Sport looks like it should be a hypercar.
Yeah, but it's not.
The memory I have of that is back when I had a CBR 1000. I was out like riding it like in like the foothills around here, and there was a guy like I don't know if he was test driving it or what, but he was in an i8, and like me and him went at it, and I just fucking stomped his ass, and he was just like,
That's like
oh.
a 3-cylinder.
Yeah, he was just like, oh, and then he was like a little sad.
So, anyways, this one is kind of true, but people do this thing where they're like, God, I would love it. I would love an i8, but BMW should have put like a
V10.
V12 in it, and it should have been like a carbon fiber. Like they start like
Should've had a
naming
gated
these
They should have
things.
changed everything about it.
Yeah, or they'll be like, that car would be good, but they should have put like a V8.
People did it with the Prelude too. Like the Prelude would be so sick if it was like rear wheel drive with
Yeah.
V6.
Yeah, they just completely like, okay, if you had like a bunch of carbon fiber and you pull 600 pounds out of it, I mean, yeah, you mean if you make it 300 grand,
Yeah.
it would be cool. The LC500 is another one where they were making an LCF and they canceled
Oh, really?
it.
I didn't know that.
They pulled out.
Yeah.
I mean,
What was it going to be? Just like more.
I think it was gonna be a twin turbo V8.
Oh,
Damn.
Yeah, and so I'm sure they pulled out because it was just like, dude, that's
Yeah,
fucking
expensive.
like,
it's already expensive enough.
it already weighs 4,400 pounds or
Yeah.
whatever. And I'm sure they were just like, this is just crazy.
Yeah.
It's like cooling and like whatever. But people are always like, oh, I would have loved to see that car with like a twin. It's just like they're kind of describing this car where it's like, dude, do you actually think anyone would have bought it
Yeah.
if they had done the thing that you're doing? Like what this needs, what BMW should have done.
Let me tell you a thing or two.
Yeah, this car should have had. It's always something to do with carbon fiber.
Yeah.
It's almost always.
Although there
a
is some
V10.
like actual like common sense of like why did GM not put a fucking V8 like
Yeah.
NA V8 in like the Cadillac?
Yeah.
Whatever. No, we're gonna make like a twin turbo V6.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same fucking platform. Like
Yeah.
you have like the best engine ever made designed to go into that chassis.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna make like a V. Like we're going for more like a Eurocentric.
Are you talking about the CT4 V Blackwing?
Like all any of those ones.
Any of them
any of
that
those ones,
should
any of
have
those
a
ones that
V8.
don't have that don't have the naturally aspirated V8.
Yeah.
That's also in the car that shares the same.
And then all the reviews are like, this engine's pretty good, but we missed the LT1.
Or they're like, the chassis is really good. The engine's like okay, but nothing special. Like what?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I was saying. Like the
Yeah.
i8 kind of is that one.
Yeah.
Another one was the NSX. People were like, just don't put hybrid shit on it. Just
take it off.
Yeah, just sell the gas version. That motor is awesome.
I don't know anything about this.
I know, and I didn't either. And I started looking into it. I was like, oh shit, because they got such a bad rap on release. Remember, people were like, "That's not as good as the old one."
Yeah.
They're actually pretty dope.
Damn.
But that motor is, I forget what they raced it in. GT, I don't know the classes.
Super GT.
GT1 or something.
Yeah.
Stock motor,
All right.
They just
Straight- just goes
slapped
through
it
it.
in there.
unmodified.
Yeah.
They take the hybrid stuff off.
I think so.
Yeah.
But it's just like unmodified.
Yeah.
That motor is so sick.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's a fucking literal racing motor.
It's funny because a lot of those GT cars have to like be detuned from the street version.
Yeah.
Like I think like the Z06 and stuff. So
Oh,
they-
from the
Yeah,
street
yeah, it's
race.
like-
It'll
it's
be like
like-
400 horsepower or something.
Yeah.
So they have to put like a restrictor on it. Yeah, like they sound awesome, but they're actually like not making as much power.
I mean, they're still faster because they have like
Yeah,
slicks
it's
and
gutted.
like 1,000 pounds
Yeah.
off. But yeah.
Yeah. I thought that car was pretty sweet. But yeah, the people were like, just why is the hybrid stuff? And it's like, okay, fair point. Like, it probably would have been cheaper and sold better. And it's still like 470 horsepower, but way lighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem sweet though.
Those are V8? No.
V6, twin turbo V6, you know, which was another.
With hybrid.
Yeah, with hybrid.
Damn.
Okay, my end
What's it,
finally.
like Electric Dreams? What's the Honda thing?
Is that what it was?
Isn't it like something Dreams?
Power of Dreams?
Earth Dreams.
Earth
Earth
Dreams.
Dreams.
Yeah.
That's the
Earth Dreams
motor.
technology.
I don't think that has Earth Dreams technology.
I'll have to check.
That'd be sweet if you pop the little rear
Yeah, it
hat.
has a
big
little
Earth Dreams.
Yeah.
I'll have to fact check that.
Yeah, we'll have to fact check it. Okay, my end finally. I think I'm like late to the party because I know you've been there, but and when I say we, I mean my mother. Because as a 38-year-old male, I'm still on the like family plan, which I'm sure a lot of people
Cell phone, you mean?
For your phone?
for a cell phone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty funny. Like I think that's common.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
like grow up and just kind of like
It's a better deal.
they just like quietly
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, yeah.
Stay,
Pay for the
stay on the family plan. Yeah. Anyways, she switched to unlimited data,
Oh.
which I have not had before.
Damn.
And it's just so nice to not like you just be in traffic like watching
I
Netflix
don't even
and
know.
stuff. Like you just stop caring.
Yeah.
Everything is Wi-Fi now.
Right.
And that is kind of nice. Or it's like, oh yeah, I'll just FaceTime someone. Like you
Yeah.
just don't care. So it's kind of like a game changer for me. So I can do like Zoom calls in my car and not be like, "Oh,
Dude, I've had
Better wrap
unlimited
this up."
data since the original fucking iPhone. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like AT&T required you to have that.
you've been an early believer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm a recent It wasn't my choice.
It's just what worked for my family.
Yeah, my family just didn't. Yeah, we finally got to it. Yeah, because we had like each person got like 10 gigs or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
It
I
was
don't
like,
even know
"Your
how much.
data's-
I don't have my phone with me, but I'm pretty sure I
data's
like
getting-"
use like 50 gigs a month in data or something.
It's pretty awesome.
I went over my regular home Wi-Fi data limit.
Oh, I was literally going to bring that up. Do you have Comcast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Because
they only give you, like, a
my brother bought a Xbox One.
And you like downloaded a bunch of games, right? Yeah.
well, like he lives kind of in the like his internet signal. Is
Oh, so
not
he
great.
came over to
came
use
over.
it.
No, like I actually went and like bought it. He was like, I'll pay you back. Just like go buy
Yeah.
it. So I bought it and it's like, so can you like set
Set it up and download some games.
Yeah, and so I
Yeah.
downloaded like it was like it kept getting this like you've
Yeah,
reached
you
like
get an email.
95%.
Yeah.
Like you're at 100%.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
Downloading like 5
And
games.
then like
in, like, a day.
I did that the other month too. Yeah, it's like if like 2 good games
Yeah,
come out
yeah.
a month, it's like, well, I just burned through like 300 gigs of data downloading 2 games.
Games are so fucking.
But
big.
they're like, we're gonna charge you like $10 for every 50 gigabytes you go over.
Yeah.
So I was
The
like,
overage is wild.
it's I'm like, literally, this
You're gonna
costs
get
you
like a
nothing.
$1,000
Yeah.
bill or something.
But they're like, we'll waive it this first
yeah,
time,
we'll be nice
as long as you don't do it within 12 months.
Learn your lesson.
I know, what a joke.
yeah, Comcast is crazy. We moved recently and we were paying $107 a month, and it's like new customer. It's like $55.
Yeah.
For like 2 years.
You can just keep switching it. You just have to be
I
on
know.
top of it.
I should have.
You
I
have to
should have
just-
done a
you have
better
to keep
job.
re-upping the deal.
It is fucking. Do you know how much? Like, do you know how much the economy would grind to a halt if like, or like how much of the economy is based on people just like
Not-
forgetting to cancel shit or not
I
like
know.
Yeah.
renegotiating stupid contracts.
Yeah, there's so much where it's just like, come on, baby, just keep.
I fucking forgot. Like I forgot my password. I don't want to fucking deal
Yeah,
with
I do that
this.
too. I had Disney Plus. I mean, luckily it expired
Yeah.
like
Boycotted
on
it.
its own. No, I just
Boycotted the
You got a new
woke-
credit card.
Boycotted
I
the
signed
woke
up for a
agenda.
year,
Yeah.
and then I got a new phone. I didn't remember my
You're
password,
like, "Oh, this sucks."
and I was kind of like, yeah, I don't. just like couldn't log into it. I was like, I'm not even gonna. Fucking,
Fine, I'll keep
I don't
paying
even
for
remember.
it.
Yeah, it was just like, I'll deal with it later.
Yeah.
Well, because that's everything is shifting to subscription model
yeah.
because there just truly is more money in it.
Oh yeah.
Like when you be like, hey man, it's like $5 a month. You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that's a Starbucks.
yeah,
It's
you're
like
like,
a
okay,
Starbucks.
fine. But yeah, I think that is like it works for a reason. It's like, look,
And they just keep raising,
$2.99.
like, because I
and then
had
they can jack it up.
I had like Apple Music, and I had like I was
Me
paying
too.
for like iCloud storage,
Except the separate
and then I think I
ones.
had like Apple
Yeah.
TV Plus
I gave in
free,
too. I
and then
gave
they were
into
like, you
their
could just
fucking-
bundle it all together
yeah.
for Apple One for like $30 a month, and I was like, okay. And
Yeah.
then like 2 months ago, they go, oh, by the way, we're like increasing the price to like $42.
Yeah, it's
a
like
month.
it's like 20%.
Yeah, and
jump.
we're
It's
like,
like you fuck. I don't
okay.
even.
you know.
I like all these things.
I know they do a good job. That is just kind of like the ultimate business strategy.
Yeah.
Get them in
Yeah,
and then
get you
jack the
hooked
price
in.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, all these streaming services.
Damn.
Yeah.
Speaking of Carbro subscription model coming soon.
It's,
Yeah, it's called the
that's,
Patreon.
oh, that's true. Yeah.
premium. Carver,
Speaking of
premium.
people forgetting to cancel
Yeah.
their,
that's what's keeping us afloat.
yeah, it's what's keeping the lights on here. Those people who forgot their Patreon password.
Right.
Yeah.
We should rebrand as a new podcast and start a new Patreon, but keep the old one going.
Yeah.
Legacy members. Yeah. Yeah. Streaming platforms suck now, man.
How come
They're
like
bad. I have 3 of them.
I'm so annoyed now by this end of the year, like Spotify. Have you
No,
you're not
I
on
don't.
social media, but people share
Oh,
their
yeah,
like
yeah.
top artists. I'm like, I don't give a fuck what you listen to. Like, why are you sharing this?
Unless
Oh,
it's
I
like,
just want you to let me know.
I just want you to let you know these are the type of artists I listen to on
a lot of Taylor
Spotify.
Swift.
Yeah.
yeah. I listen to a lot of Batman soundtrack.
Prince.
It's like Kids Bop. Yeah, it'd be
Yeah,
sweet
that'd
if
be
you
sweet.
had like actual weird ones.
Yeah.
I just fucking love
Funny if-
Raffi.
It'd be funny if it wasn't even weird. It's just like really pathetic.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even
It's
know.
just One Direction.
Just like the most
yeah. How do I not post this? I didn't mean to post it.
Yeah, just automatically does it.
This is
for
my
it.
girlfriend's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody hacked my.
One direct.
Yeah, it's like 16 different albums.
Yeah, that'd be like a bunch of music. Yeah, from like 2012.
Like Lizzie McGuire.
Yeah, soundtracks are like 13 going on 30 or whatever. I didn't. It was a joke. I didn't even use Spotify.
It's got some deep cuts. Don't worry
I
about
played
it.
all those ironically.
Yeah, I don't even. I play them for my friends
Like you've listened to this song like 400 times.
over and over. Yeah, I'm bad about music. I'll find a new song that I'm like, yeah, this is dope, and I'll literally listen to it on repeat for like a half hour. Like just like, yep, and then I'm just like, ugh, I'm sick of
like
this.
Have you heard the new Rolling Stones album?
No,
I don't.
It's actually like, it's pretty good for like 80-year-old.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
start to finish.
Yeah, I
I'll
think
put
so.
it on
Yeah.
on the way up. There we go. That's good and finally.
Stones.
Yeah. What were you? Oh,
Mick Jagger's back.
Mick Jagger.
He is back.
Prime.
Yeah. It's huge mouth.
Richards, yeah.
Wonder how much of that is like AI generated. You
Probably
think?
most of it.
I thought they were all dead.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's good. Hope you guys enjoyed.
Yeah. Happy holidays.
Thanks for being here. Happy holidays. Happy New Year, depending.
When this is edited,
we'll see.
it'll be up before the new year.
Tight.
Yeah.
All right.
We
See you
should
next
we should
time.
record another one.
Oh, okay. Now?
No. Well, we'll see. Sometimes
Break this one into two. Yes, I
someday.
agree. We should
At
record
some
another
point,
one.
at some point, we should do the one.
This isn't the last episode. In case
Triple digits. No, this is the start of a new era.
Yeah.
rebranding.
Yeah, rebranded. All right. Bye-bye.
See ya.
See ya.